Hello everyone, Nikhil here. Ex-Roder and Hariraj will just be here shortly. So we are just going to have a casual discussion about the yesterday's launch of Tata Curvv. Hey Ex-Roder, if you can just hear or speak, let me know. Yesterday, as you know, Tata launched its Curvv and some powertrain basic first. It comes with two battery pack options, 45 kilowatt hour and 55 kilowatt hour. And as we earlier also told that it would come with prismatic and the 55 kilowatt hour pack does comes with the new Gaussian prismatic cells. I think they are using 104 amp hour ones, while the 45 kilowatt hour ones continues to use the cylindrical cells as is in currently Nexon and Punch and Tiago and everything else that Tata has in vehicles. So why 45 kilowatt hour doesn't come with the prismatic cells that we don't understand. It was supposed to come with that prismatic, but we don't know. Now we are being told that Nexon, updated Nexon would launch with 45 kilowatt hour, and that will share the pack with Curve, and that will be prismatic, and then the Curve 45 kilowatt hour will also be upgraded to prismatic. Initially, the prismatic cells were to come in the Punch EV, but for some reasons they got delayed. And yeah, so initially the Punch was to first to have prismatic cells, but now it's Curve EV 55 kilowatt hour. That's about it. And regarding charging, yes, they did charging improvement. Now they are stating that it can take 1.2 C rate of charging. So for 55 kilowatt hour, that would mean the peak rate of around 66 kilowatt. So you should be able to fully utilize the 60 kilowatt chargers that are there. You can fully utilize the potential of those. And on the 45 kilowatt hour pack, it should be able to take around 54 or 55 kilowatt. So while yeah, it is 1.2 C, we were expecting 1.5 C, but it is 1.2 C. And given the price, I think that's fine. If price wise higher, maybe we would not have justified that. But yeah, finally there's some improvement in charging. Regarding BMS, we are not sure if it is in-house or it is still Gaussian based, but cells are definitely from Gaussian right now. And for those expecting Agratas to supply cells to Tata, it is not happening anytime soon. The Harrier and Sierra EV will also continue to use Gaussian cell as far as we know. The first Agratas cell vehicle from Tata might be Avinya and any further that follows. And those will be pure EV. Anything that is launching right now, even including the Harrier and Sierra, they are sharing platform with their ICE siblings. And Tata has 123 kilowatt motor. It's refined on the based on current Nexon. It is updated, and that this motor is supposed to come in the updated Nexon 3. So they have done some things to the motor. So they in the motor department they are definitely doing good. I hope we won't see any software issues in this also, like we are seeing or have seen in the current vehicles. And the charging time they have stated 10 to 80% of 40 minutes as expected. So we are assuming that it will hold peak till something around 50-ish percent, and then it will drop off little bit after that till 80% and then further drop. But yeah, we definitely need more tests on that. We don't have any charging curve data for the curve. So that was about powertrain. Extroder, maybe you can tell us about interior and all.
Thank you for hosting this discussion. I hope that you continue with these discussions more in coming time because आने वाले time में
Yeah,
there
we
are 5 to 6 EVs
yeah,
coming till Auto Expo, then further up till Cafe Norms we will have all this blast of EVs. So
right, right.
specifically I had went to Tata showroom. I had went for some other work on regarding my job, but uh, the Tata guys in Chandigarh, they are known, so we went to see the car in person. Uh, so, uh, so basically, the car looks quite good. You know, like the pricing, in terms of pricing, the car is really superb. Interior layout is typical, goes in line with the newer electric vehicles like Punch and Nexon 3.0. Uh, Interiors are almost the same like Nexon .ev, maybe a little bit better quality. Steering is from Harrier. You all, most of the people might have seen all the videos and everything coming. So four-spoke steering is there. Seats are comfortable. Then massive boot, 500 liters, and one thing I just wanted to add: the hump. There was a image which was coming that there is a hump in between. The hump is not that much. There is a that tunnel goes, but it's not a deal breaker. It should have been flat, but it is what it is. Any specific thing which you want to ask about? Like, we know all the features, same, similar. Showrooms, they all have that
Yeah,
empowered plus A variant. That is the ADAS equipped one. Anything specific you want to ask with interior? How should we go about it? So
uh,
anything specific?
just list the ADAS feature what they are providing right now.
ADAS,
And
yeah.
before that, the I would say the hump is similar in ICE.
No, no, no.
So because it is sharing structure with ICE,
The hump is not that hump. मतलब हिंदी में अगर hump इतना बड़ा नहीं है.
ना
Like hump would be like it's
नहीं
like
इतना बड़ा नहीं है लेकिन है वो है वहाँ पे
there is a hump, but it is not a deal breaker. Like in Nexon 3.0 or the hump is really like it is like a rectangular one. So this is like you have those
right.
you have the sweet. It is like a small book, like a medium book. So it's not a deal breaker. It
I mean even punch is almost flat. It has just little bit of hump.
yeah.
This has slightly bit more.
This is yeah, you're right. It's higher than the punch one, but it's not a deal breaker. Anything specific
Right,
you
right.
want to ask for the interiors? Interiors are similar, same like the Nexon 3.0 or the Punch, which has come in the EV variant. The steering, the layout, the infotainment system. I happen to see the top variant because display पे सब में top variant ही है. So ADAS, they have given
Uh,
almost every feature which you can expect in ADAS: adaptive cruise control, the blind spot detector, and all those things. The change which has come is the blind spot detector. Now it will come on the main in the odometer screen.
instrument cluster.
It's not on
Yeah,
the infotainment now. If you are like pehle, it was like it used to come on the infotainment screen, and it used to block the view of the like if you have a map going on, it used to, and there is a turn, and it used to block that view. So that thing has gone now.
right.
So that's an improvement. One thing I want to add is anyone who is going for curve and he's above 5'6" height, please sit at the back, sunroof variant. I had people who were 6 feet, and I had people because Punjab side you have turbans. It's a deal breaker in Punjab.
Right, right.
You just can't sit at the rear. Another rear. Anyone who is going for curve, he should just check it if he's above 5'6". Just sit at the back and see. And Nexon 3.0, everyone used to complain, even in the Max also, that you are sitting upright
Right.
in the rear space because of the battery pack. This problem persists in Curve also. The under thigh support is not that great for 5'6" above people. The first point. Second is that
If you have yeah,
sunroof.
if you have seen the design of the
Yeah,
it is occupying the space below the seats.
yeah,
It is still occupying the space.
and other thing is that's if you're having 5'6" above, better not to take the sunroof variant because if you sit at the back, your head will strike with the roof. That's पता नहीं मतलब for all practical purpose why they designed it that way. And space in the front, the space you look in the front with the 2560 wheelbase, Tata should have done better with the space. Front, the space is very good. The rear space, I don't feel there is much advantage from Nexon 3.0. Uh,
Right.
the space and the architecture which they got, they could have managed it really very well. But I'm not sure why were they not able to. Uh, Three adults would be like squeeze still comfortable, not like it is not a deal breaker for long. If there are two heavy individuals and one moderate, it's fine. But the rear space is really not that great considering the architecture they had. They could have done far better. Exterior build quality, and now I'm coming to the exteriors. Exterior build quality, panel gaps, they are really very good. Not the usual Tata kind of thing, like the right side panel gap is more, and on left it is the quality and fit and finish is really very good, paint and all those things. So there is no problem with that. And another wanted to add something about the smart flap. So the smart flap which they have added is, it's not like if I have locked my car and the flap is open, the flap will remain open.
Oh,
So smart flap means, like, if I have started the car and the flap is open, then the flap will close.
yeah. Okay.
So basically, the thing which I had talked to that guy who was the main in the Tata showroom. So he told me that the smart flap is functioning like this because so if I close the car and I want to charge, so the flap has to be open. So that's what
Right.
he was telling. If I lock the car and want to charge, the flat has to be open. So that is why it is not key. If I close the car and the flap is open, the flap will be, the smart flap is the opposite thing. Like if I try to drive and the flap is open, the flap will get closed. Like I have Hyundai Kona Electric.
Right.
If the flap is open, the car will just give the sign that flap is open and it will blink. It will not auto close. So that's
Okay.
the function of smart flap.
Okay.
And another other thing I wanted to add, that AVAS system which they have added, acoustic vehicle alert system. There is a big speaker in the that
Right.
it's quite because the car was stationary. I'm not able to check the AVAS system, but there is a huge speaker. I don't know how the sounds will come, but it seems nice. That's a nice turn on, because if people might knowing that AVAS is mandatory in Europe, US and UK. Any newer energy vehicle, whether it is a plug-in vehicle or it's a battery-operated vehicle, it has to have that AVAS system. So 75, there is a limit
Right.
of 75 dB in that system, and you can't get more than that sound, and 20-30 की स्पीड पे होना चाहिए. उसके बाद वो बंद हो जाता है जब वो चलता है, रिवर्स पे चलता नहीं वो. So probably there are only two vehicles currently in the mainstream which are having AWS. One is the hybrid Grand Vitara, because Japan में ये mandatory है, and other one is the Curvv. Well, it's the first vehicle for Tata to have the AVAS system. That's a very good addition. So Tata is improving in that front.
Right.
और क्या ऐड करें, और क्या था, any details further? तो
और
charge.
एक बार कुछ क्वेश्चंस उनके आंसर दे देता हूँ पहले.
Right.
Babu is asking how much range will be in real life on highway. So I think 55 wala version hai, you should be able to get on highway around 380 and 400 easily at a constant speeds, obviously. And for the lower version, around 320, 330 that they are stating, that should be 300 and 330, assume on highway. That should be fine.
And also this is based on AC being on.
Yeah. Yogesh is asking, anyone has tried the new EV charging aggregator app from them? So Yogesh, what Tata has right now, it will just show you the location or lists of the charger. You cannot use the current Tata aggregator app to operate any of the chargers yet. They are trying to, maybe it will come in the future.
So,
But I haven't tried it yet.
so I will just take this question from Mr. Nanda Save of Soil. Which variant is the most
Right.
value for money? I will just take it, just a second. I have to open the I have to open my notepad where I've written a lot of details. So I think the accomplished variant, that's the value for money. Practically अगर हम देखें तो EV curve has got even in the base variant, it's got everything. It's got six airbags, it's got ESP, it's got all disc brakes, EPB with auto hold. And mind you, EPP with auto fold is standard across all variants for the Curvy dot EV, but the ICE ones will get in the only top variant. So it's got four speakers, Twitter, cruise control, start stop button, all that multi-drive mode, power windows, every feature. If you imagine, even V2L, V2Vs is standard across all the variants in Curve. It starts from the creative variant, even on the 45 kilowatt hour battery pack one. So accomplished 55 would be the value for money variant. You miss on 360-degree camera, blind spot, front parking sensor. You don't have you uh, you miss on the sunroof and all those things, but still I feel that would be the most value for money variant, this accomplished variant. If you can add some money, you can
Right.
go
And
for the accomplished plus also, because the difference is, I think I have this price list, just hold on.
a difference is of mostly features. There are some same battery pack and all just
Yeah,
features what you want and
right.
what should be useful for you. You should
So,
personally take a look at it.
if I come to the pricing, 55 kilowatt, a company starts from 1925 lakhs. So it is better to go for
Right.
accomplished plus, because this difference is just 75,000. Accomplished plus S starts from 19.99 lakh for the 55 kilowatt. I
Right.
think this is the most value for money, because it will give you almost everything. You will have the sunroof, you will have this 360-degree, this one, 60-degree camera, blind spot, front parking, panoramic sunroof, JBL sound system, wireless charge, express cooling, rain sensor, automatic and automatic headlamps, automatic defogger also. This is accomplished plus S would be the value for money. And if you have more money, you can go for Empowered Plus. So three. So
And
just add
only
Empowered Plus A variant if you have more money. If you want quality for money, Empowered Plus, Empowered Plus. Then if you want this quality for money, that is sorry, value for money. So that would be Accomplished Plus, Plus S variant. Yeah. So you can go ahead, Nikhil.
I'm not a fan of Tata naming these variants like this. and I think in the EVs variant should be battery pack based only. You can have check options for the features that owner want to add. Right. It's
The thing is that the
gets
custom
lot of confusion.
you're right that way, but the
Yeah.
customizations are not currently that. Well, we are not into that phase of what do you say, the customization, or manufacturers started doing this. You can configure your car this or that. That configuration is basically you are adding accessories. So you are right that way. In
Right.
EVs, it's like if I don't want a sunroof, I should be able to get the top model without sunroof. I'm not a fan of a sunroof.
Right.
There is no need. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, even naming is very confusing. Yeah.
you're right.
Right.
I mean, it's
So,
not confusing when you pay for it, so it's fine by me. I mean, once you pay for, let's say, Empowered Plus, you'll always remember the name.
Yeah,
Hariraj, your voice is pretty clear, but yeah, so guys, Hariraj owns a Punch EV and he also visited Curvv EV yesterday. And Hariraj, share your experience comparing both.
Exodus has already like called out quite all. I mean, enough of the features that are available. One thing I would like to point out is the boot space. It's quite impressive. 60-40 split. It's really impressive. The kind of luggage one can carry. I guess it's the biggest boot space one would get in the given the segment. And then there is this vehicle to load button that's right at the bottom section. That's quite awesome. And plus there is an extra spare tire that's quite available. So based on what one is paying for, this is totally worth it. I felt the car is really good looking. Yes, the space seems to be like Nexon EV sorts, but uh, uh, I guess it's a starting point, and I felt that this is something that one should actually look for. The range, I would I would literally say it would give you 400 kilometers without any issues. You go 80 kilometer per hour on road, or let's say you touch 100 kilometers per hour on road, it'll give you enough range, and it's quite good. So the product is pretty good. Of course, space and everything, it's all personal choice, but given the money and the tech that's given inside it, it's quite loaded. And the price point, that's the best section, I guess Tata has played this time. So yeah, that's what I would actually bet on. And plus the prismatic cells, those are pretty good technology one could bet on. So it's a good product overall.
Hariraj, yesterday you were saying a bit of having issue with the ingress as compared to the punch, so maybe shed some light on the usability.
Well, to be honest, I prefer cars where झुकना नहीं पड़ता है, because I don't like to bow down. But yeah, over here, ingress would be where, like, you need to go a little and then get inside the car. Once you buy it, I guess that will be a second nature one would have. But if you are new to the car and if you are good heighted, like, well built, yes, you would have difficulty. Your front two rows would be your space, whereas the back rows, that's where you send your kids or those or people whom you don't like. You can send them to the back row and then enjoy the ride or highway, whatever you would be looking forward to. But yeah, the space and everything, looking at the engineering and everything, it's kind of understandable how they are managing the entire space over there. So I wouldn't say it's an issue, but or a deal breaker. It's more like a personal choice. I honestly, I had a conversation with someone who had booked his car. It was, I would not like to name the car, but he was about to take the delivery on this very same day. However, he kept the delivery on hold and wanted to check Tata Curve. Uh, and he was quite impressed with the technology that was available. His monthly running was around 2,000 per month, and he wanted something that could go from, let's say, from Surat to Ahmedabad in one go. Uh, but he was totally new to the ecosystem. He had no idea. He had no pets around EVs. All the information that he had was based on the Generation 1 Nexon and the consumers or his friends who would be consuming the EV technology. They were all, Generation 1 Nexon EV users, which was 25 kilowatt battery power pack. So I gladly and happily explained him everything regarding 55 kilowatt battery and the prismatic cell and technology in and around it. Uh, he felt quite lucky meeting me, and I might have, converted one guy for Tata. But yeah, uh, it was pretty good, I would say. The car is pretty good. Again, I'm mentioning this. The car is pretty good. The blind spot is pretty good. The It comes out quite good. The UI is quite good, and I guess it's the DNA factor. That's what they are bringing in across. Everything remains quite the same. It's the same family segment that they are offering. So, of course, we might say that it looks like Nexon from front, but there is a boot space, extra boot space that's available, and all those sorts. But that's the DNA that they are trying to sell, and the family of SUVs that they're trying to bring in. So that's quite understandable from Tata's point of view. But when it comes to consumers' money, what they are trying to buy, uh, this is a really really good product, I would say.
Okay, good to know, Hariraj. So one more question, Rishikesh is asking. He is asking if 45 kilowatt hour variant is worth the price. So I would say that if you are planning to go with the top level Nexon, you now go with the I think Curve 45 kilowatt hour version. And if you have extra cash, go with the 55 kilowatt hour. But if you have some limited budget, or you are planning to go for the some of the top two Nexon long range models, I think it would be better to skip them now. Unless Tata is now having some 1.8 lakh rupees discount on Nexon, I think. So that might be if it's a factor for you. If you can go for 55 kilowatt hour, good. Otherwise, yes, 45 kilowatt hour version is better than the 40 kilowatt hour Nexon, and it has improved charging also, right? And Curvv comes with, yes, only 7.2 kilowatt charger. Uh, and yes, I have asked someone at Tata that is it mandatory, because many of the current EV owners will be upgrading and they don't need a new charger. So yes, it should not be bundled with the car. I agree with a couple of people have asked at this point. So we need to ask more on that. Yeah,
Also, I would like to add something over here. The pilot
right.
seat gets an electronic adjustment, so that was something new to see. I haven't seen that in Nexon top models, so that's a new addition, I would say. And yeah, honestly, about the 45 kilowatt hour battery or 55 kilowatt hour battery, uh, honestly speaking, if you do a lot of highway runs, those two battery packs are sufficient for them. But then do remember you're paying for the technology, so I would bet on the prismatic cells that's available by Tata. So that's our opinion, anyhow.
Yeah, currently Nexon, the curve will hit Nexon 3.0 the most, especially the empowered variant of Nexon 3.0. People will now opt for curve any day. So tough times for Nexon ahead, even with the ICE also in coming time, and even for the EV. Because curve will really,
You know,
because curves
yeah.
boot space is
In the
really a big deal for the families. Though the
right.
space they should have done far better. People, once they will see the car, they will understand what I'm saying. Other thing I wanted to add,
Yeah,
that
actually,
Tata has added those piano black claddings. They would be uh, smudge attractors उस पे scratches आ जाएंगे in coming time. And I have no idea why they went with the piano black for the exterior. It should have been a dull design. They already have those claddings in the punch and punch, which is not piano black. So piano black will get dirty to
Right.
core. Uh, and other 2 points I wanted to add. Nikhil was absolutely right. The battery cells are still from Goiton. I have got the picture of the battery, that sticker, which is there over the battery
Yeah.
pack. First, as he pointed already, that it is coming from Goiton still. Uh, and people might be knowing that Goiton has a partnership with Tata Autocom. It's a joint venture. Frank is there. Frank is there. We must have seen. And
Trunk is, I mean, that trunk is kind of forced there just for the
yeah,
sake
you are
of
right.
having a
You are
trunk.
right. You are right. 5 kilos.
It
It's
is
the
not properly
capacity.
made. And
And
yeah,
but Tata should have been smart. Once the thing is, once you are giving Frank, supposedly I have to open the if I have to keep something in the frunk I will open, and the lid, the bonnet is so heavy of Curvv and Tata cars usually. So it's a kind of exercise. I would rather go at the back and open my electric tailgate, which is a gesture one, which is where I can keep the things far easily, especially for the females.
right,
Once you are lifting the bonnet should have been hydraulic. That could have that. I always say, if you are providing front, then you should provide a hydraulic struts in the bonnet, so that it is easy and convenient to use the front. Because
right,
if you have to open it like the same way you're opening the other kind of the similar way we open the bonnet of the ICE vehicles. So it should be hydraulic. If you're providing the front, don't provide the front. There is no problem, because electric tailgate is there. I will rather go behind and have a gesture control thing. Uh, so so this, and one point I wanted to add was the the engine bay and sorry, the motor bay and everything is completely covered. So there is no it is fully covered from the front. It all everything is covered, so don't have to worry about like
right.
open spaces or something like that. And the ground clearance is 186 mm for the 55 kilowatt hour variant. It is unladen one. right? Without anyone sitting in the car. I just wanted to add this thing also.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the 45 kilowatt hour?
45 kilowatt should be 190.
So, we have seen in the pictures in their promos earlier, the battery pack is little bit coming down from the flat that it should have been. It's sticking little bit out. Uh, in the Nexans, it was the wires that was sticking out, and in it, it's a battery pack because of capacity, I think.
Yeah,
So that might
it
be.
looks like in from the side you can't see it, but once you are below the car you can literally see it. And but the front and motor and all, area it is all covered, so that's a very good thing. So सारा कुछ covered है, so it's there are nothing like open things. So
No wires below it,
no
right?
wires, nothing. So, there is cladding पे भी cover and everything
Though,
neatly done.
yeah, we were discussing in chat that maybe they have shifted those wire to the tunnels this time.
Yeah, obviously. So that's a good thing basically.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Any other question we have? Specific one?
Yeah, Rohit is asking that it is possible Punch EV get 1.2C charge rate in future. Uh, I am not sure that the current Punch can be able to update. I don't think it has the hardware for that. But yes, the future updated version of it with the new cells should come with 1.2C charge rate. But I don't think current one they have provided hardware to support for the higher charge rate in the Punch EV.
So, one Sir per se Black name says, any confirmation on you were able to get about the Harrier? Harrier will be launching this year 100%. So, so first thing we want to clear that Tata has themselves confirmed that Harrier.ev will launch this year, right? So this is so it will be coming this
Okay.
in multiple interviews. Mr. Srivastava and they have confirmed it that Harrier will come this year. Probably it will be end of the year. It will launch. Maybe Tata surprises us on the World EV Day, which is on 9 September. Maybe they have an event on that day. They show Harrier everything, and they launch it by December. Just a vague guess, but it will be coming this year. That is 100% sure.
And what would you think, like, your guess for, like, say, price? Given we already know it will be a 70 kilowatt battery, uh,
Yes. On the you can.
just a guess,
I had a
right? Yeah.
proper
Yeah.
I had a proper discussion with the guy who goes with the training and all those things. So he was like कि the current Tata Harrier top variants go to 32 lakhs. The current ICE ones, not the EV ones. So the all-wheel drive variant with all bezels will go nearly about that that zone basically. So basically now we have now active.ev structure. We have seen the punch. We have seen it was a start. Nickel, and we were expecting that 1.2C should have come in punch only, and but it didn't came. So curve
Right.
it is updated 1.C in Harrier and Sierra coming up in these active. So that would be the time when Tata will show the full potential of active.ev. So it will have all-wheel drive and all those things. So my
I mean,
completely
the
my
current cells, yeah, current prismatic cells can do 1.5C, but due to, I think, hardware limitation for the cost or sake, I don't know, whatever, they have limited to 1.2C.
so
And yeah, as you
yeah.
were discussing earlier, Nexon and all. So we didn't make that public yet. We were planning to, but we got getting delayed. They have a huge margin on the battery of Nexon. They can drop price a lot and still be in the profitable area. So as we saw today, it already got 1.8 lakh discount, I think. Maybe we can expect price cut in Nexon and all that.
That's a very, very valid point that Nikhil has made, that with the current discounts also Tata is not making losses. So that's a very, very valid point, Nikhil. Uh, so coming back to Harrier.ev again. So Harrier.ev again, I'm assuming that it will start from 2023 to 24, and it will probably end at 27, 28, because you have to see it will compete with Mahindra's XUV 800 electric. with the current price slash they have done for the XUV 700. So I don't see Mahindra and Tata cars, especially electric, above 30 lakhs. It would be someone paying. I don't know. I may not pay 30 lakh for a Tata or Mahindra currently, in considering scenarios. Maybe later. But yes, one thing is sure, Tata Harrier is coming. Tata Harrier Dot EV is coming this year, and it will come with all-wheel drive variant. And battery packs is anybody's guess. It would be higher than the Curve, 60, 70, two battery packs. Like Nikhil can shed more light on the battery
Yeah,
packing thing.
we, we, know, we know of the 70 kilowatt hour pack which is currently being tested. Others we are not aware yet, but we will update as usual if we have any info from our sources.
I think at this
By
price,
the way,
like you know,
just to,
sorry,
yeah, yeah, go ahead first.
the
Yes.
at this price you're quoting, like if it's on par with like ICE, Harrier will sell like hotcakes, right? Like you know,
Yeah, so basically,
more
active
missiles and
Harrier would show us the next potential for the, like, Harrier will unleash active.ev. It will have the it will have you basically everyone is enthusiasts like me and Nikhil and many others. We want higher charging speeds and all those things, but there are no chargers available. 100 kilowatt chargers are not that much available. Was it a 60 kilowatt? Even if my car is 1.3 and there is no charger for me, so there is no fun getting 1.5 and paying for it and not getting the service for it. Like if I get a car which is 1.c
You know,
and current charging.
I will stop you right there. I will stop you right there. The point is that let's say I'm buying a car today, it is 2024. I'm keeping it for 6 7 years. The charges will be there in that time. They might not be here today, right? So it is not the point that okay, when the first Nexon was launched, Tata provided only three kilowatt AC charging capability, and we were like, why is that? It should be minimum seven. Right. They updated it later in the next version, but the first one was 7, and they said that, oh, people don't have load and all. And our point was, it's about the capability for a long-term use and of the public charging use. So even regarding the curve, my expectation was would be good to have something around 80 kilowatt something. But even okay, 66 is fine for now. Maybe they can do some magic later.
AC is still 7.2 or something, right? Like 7.4 or something.
Yeah,
AC charging.
7.2.
Yeah,
Yes, 7.2.
Yeah.
7.2.
Any, I mean, because this is a EV enthusiast club, right? Like, you know, I thought I'd bring this up. Uh, Only the very premium cars, like, you know, Merc or like others have like AC at 12 or 16 or something like that. Given that if
So
AC charging speeds go up,
so basically, even in the high end, you will have that 22 kilowatt stuff. Like in the Merc
mm,
EQA or all those, they go up to 22 kilowatts, but still
mm.
you are invariably getting the 11 kilowatt charger along with the car. So there are
That is
cars which
fine.
are coming with 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The
thing
thing
is
is,
that
the reason is,
if you are getting 11 kilowatt AC in your car, you will have to get your three phase connections also sorted at your home. So that's also kind of an issue. Not an issue, but it's kind of an investment also to get it upgraded to 11 or 12, 11 kilowatt your home capacity. Then because 7.2 is currently fine in that sense, but considering the battery packs, once the battery packs go higher, so invariably you need at least
Yeah.
11.
so, I mean, if it is,
I mean,
Even for 7.2 kilowatt, you need three phase supply.
Yeah.
I mean, see, the thing is like,
yeah, for 7 feet. Yeah.
my question is like, you know, if you can accept up to 22 kilowatt, but if you still have a 7.2 kilowatt charger, that is still fine, right? It is not going to decline.
And it will charge
You
at
know,
7.2 only.
the,
That is fine.
the
So the
cost
reason,
of going from
no,
the
I'll
the
just cover.
cost of hardware. Yeah,
I'll just
you know,
cover
I
my
will just
logic because uh, if you for someone to put up a charger, public charger or something like that, for example, Xeon's charger in Tanjavur or something, it is a 25 kilowatt AC charger, and they were saying that it's easy to put a AC charger because DC chargers they need special permission, draw a separate line or anything, but AC chargers just like increasing capacity, and you can even put it at your house, right? Like so. I was just thinking if cars started accepting higher AC charging rates, there'll be a proliferation of
I
AC chargers being put out by businesses
I would like
establishing on their
I would
highways.
like Nikhil to elaborate on this. It's a good question.
yeah, yeah. So, for the car to charge up to 7 kilowatt, your charger might be having three-phase connection, but the car hardware just need one phase. The curve and the Nexon and all, they just work on one phase, right? The charging from AC. But to have higher than that, they would need to go to three phase, even for 11 kilowatt. And that hardware cost adds up a lot in this price segment. It doesn't matter in the OD and the marks, like they are in crores and lakhs. But in this price segment, till 7 kilowatt is fine. Any higher, it adds to the hardware cost because, uh, as I said, it works on one phase. Even your charger connection is on three phase, but the car is just taking 7 kilowatt via one phase. If you have seen the ports, you will see that two holes are empty, and so that's why you don't see higher charger AC for in the lower car prices.
Is that significantly higher, that cost of adding that hardware, or
Yeah, the hardware cost would add up for the inverter and all,
Mhm.
converters and internal electronics. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if
And
you
regarding infrastructure installation, you are right that it is easier to put a AC charger, but a DC is more efficient. So if possible, I would like someone to put a 55 kilowatt DC instead of a 22 kilowatt AC.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for answering that.
Yeah, thank you. So anyone having question? Miss Rohit can speak now.
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to know, in continuation to my message that I sent, is the onboard charger on Curve different than the Punch, or both have the same onboard charger for charging?
Yeah, it is same
It's
7.2 kilowatt. It's the
yeah, it's
same.
same. So you got to remember two things: Type 2 and CCS. So both accommodate. I mean, both can be accommodated. So it's all good.
So for
I mean,
AC,
your punch charger will be fine. Yeah.
so for AC it's the same, but then for DC, then it's a capability of the battery, the BMS, right? Because if they both have cylindrical Gaussian cells, then the cell characteristics is not going to change between Curve and Punch, and it's only a matter of them controlling it through BMS to be at 1C for the safety of the cells than at 1.2C like in Curve.
We don't know the if they have made some structural change to the pack, the way they have made connections and all. So it might be different in curve to enable that. And yes, wires and all they have to be better and thicker. So yeah, all that enables even the cylindrical version to have higher charge rate. But yes, this shows that even the punch could have. But I think then that comes the cost factor and all they tried. We even wanted higher charging in punch. But I think they wanted to keep it below Nexon for the time being and slowly update it. As the updated Nexon will come with 45 kilowatt hour prismatic, the curve will shift that too, and then the punch will shift to prismatic. So I think then they will slowly upgrade these, and the heavier and all, as Axolotl was saying, they would come with 1.5C and all that.
Okay, thanks for the info.
Yeah. Anyone else, if you have question, please request or yeah, ask. Nexon should get battery upgradation from 55 kilowatt hour from Curvv. So it literally doesn't have the space. They are literally squeezing in every possible thing right now. 45 kilowatt hour would be the maximum Nexon that would get, I think, and with battery pack little bit of hanging down. They are using the central tunnel to fit the cells. They are using the seat below space to fit the cells. So Nexon is, I think, literally packed right now for the LFP chemistry. And regarding service, yes, there are genuine service complaints. They should open more and more EV only showrooms and service center. We are totally in support of that. We have pushed wherever we can. We have provided wherever our feedback can. But yeah, the service department really needs a lot of overhaul. And we hope CAP doesn't come with any of the software glitches.
Yeah, for service factor for Tata, it's more of like a hit or miss kind of a concept. If you're lucky to have good service centers around your area, I mean, you are lucky. But then there are certain people who have had horrible experiences just because of service centers. So uh, I don't know whom to
Just
blame. Is it
want
Tata or
to
the people? Yeah.
ask Mr. Hariraj, I just wanted to ask if the current service interval is still 7,500 kilometers, no? Right?
Yes, yes, 75, and then slowly it gets like,
7,500,
sort of
fifteen
doubled.
thousand, then like that.
Yeah.
No? Every 75
No,
double zero
no,
kilometers. I think Tata should get rid
uh,
of this.
no, it's not every
I think no,
7,500. So,
Eh,
first is your 2000, first one. Then
No,
comes your
that I
7,500.
first is okay. So first
Then
is
comes,
net 1,000.
yeah, 1,000, 2000 ish, 2000 I think basically. Then comes your
Right. These are just
7,000.
inspections, right?
Yep, yep, yep. And then transaction oil
Then
that
the
you
that
know,
gets changed.
so
I, I
it starts from 7,500 kilometers. That's the base. That would be the first proper service, right?
Yep, yep. 75 would be the one. Yes. And then
So
comes
then
the
it will be
14,500.
so basically it is after every 7,500 kilometers you have to get it service. I think Tata should go get rid of this problem. Why I call it a problem because every other OEM is following 10,000 kilometers. Especially in the EVs, they should if Tata can just add on this 10,000 kilometer service, it can really help them also because 7,500 and 10,000 for an EV is not a big deal. So they should start with 10, 20, 30, that kind of thing, rather than
I
7,500. It's too early, especially for an EV.
I would like to go the full Tesla and not have any Tesla any service interval. But if they want,
That's
it should be
another that's
20,000.
another extreme. That's another extreme. That would be very dangerous for
Um,
I
in
mean,
considering our country
but yeah,
scenario. Right?
um,
but it should be 20,000 kilometer gap at least. The
yeah,
current
yeah.
ones are very low.
It
So
is
I would say
20,
that
20.
10,000 is it 10. I would say that 10,000 is the industry standard currently for most of the automakers. So 10 is also fine for me at the moment. But 7,500 is too early. Tata is doing same for its ICE versions also. I don't know why.
Right. Yeah.
Other thing
I mean,
which I was talking to
Maruti had 10,000 in 10 years ago, I
Maruti
think.
has 10,000 for every most have 10,000.
Yeah.
Hyundai is like only VW and Skoda have 15,000. They are going with 15,000 from long time. So other thing which I had an interaction with lot of owners at the Tata showroom today. So three things they were
Hmm.
really pissed off. Really, that's not the right word, but still it has to be used because at after if Mr. Rathod can add at 20 after 20% the car speed doesn't increases to more than 50, right?
Hariraj,
Yeah.
So at
what's
20
the
at 20% SOC you get into that speed limit, right?
Oh, no, no, no. So the speed limit comes after 10%.
Oh, so 20% I am not able to get into sports mode, right?
Uh, yeah, yeah. Below 20, no. And
So
then
okay,
from
right.
and then below 5, AC stops in Tata
Below
Punch.
5 AC stops
Yeah,
at 10%. So basically turtle mode comes at 5% or 10%.
10%.
Yeah. There was a guy who said that I had the charger uh, at the next turn because of the because it went into turtle mode and they had the family with him and everything. So it was like crawling. So Tata needs to look into
Yeah.
they need to get rid of this thing because uh, most like not everyone will go below 20%. So what I infer is because the software is restricted in such a way, most of the Tata owners they do not go below 20%. They probably charge at 20. So that 10% extra 30 kilometers, 30 or 35, if you can extract, uh, so that's a kind of a range loss to everyone.
To be honest,
Right.
whenever someone buys an EV, right, I honestly tell them that the 20% of your battery you'll never ever use it.
So that is that. So what I drive, like I use Hyundai Kona, I go at 5% also at 10%. So what I see is that 15% or 10% buffer is fine for anyone, for any tenant purpose, until unless if there is 15-kilometer drive and I know that I will reach my home at 5% or 10%. So what I'm trying to infer is, because I know at 20% after certain percentage, I would not be extracting the maximum amount of efficiency from my vehicle. I do not go down that way. So my range is always less. So they should also sort this kind of things.
Okay, so
What I
you
am
I
trying
mean,
to say is that
yeah,
I will use my battery till 10%. 10%, like supposedly, like I am now currently using Hyundai Kona, so I am now doing 10, 90, 10 circles. So so I go at 10, then I charge at 90, then 10. So this is what I've started to do from last 1,000 kilometers. So that is far better range. Like, that is far better efficiency which I extract from my EV. Because once we start interacting with people, sir 20% से नीचे तो मैं use ही नहीं कर सकता, क्या करना? So
okay?
that is
So
what I'm trying
वो
to say.
देखो,
no, no, no. So I'll tell you.
उसमें एक तो चार्जिंग
No, no. I'll answer this
इशू.
because I use Tata Punch and I have a very, I would say, not so reasonable battery pack. It's 35 kilowatt. So and then there will be majority of the users who would have around 25 kilowatt, 19 kilowatt sort of range or battery packs. So one needs to understand when they're buying an EV, right? That it should be part of their homework of what 20% actually gives. Like what the battery pack would give you on the 20%. So let's say Kona, it's a totally different product compared to let's say 25 kilowatt or 20 kilowatt battery pack.
No, no, no,
So
no.
the range at
Again,
20% would be quite
I'm
different
not.
for other
I'm not
people.
comparing. No, 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 no. Again, you're
No,
not
no,
getting. I'm.
so
I'm.
the
It's a
technical
very
side of
simple.
things.
It's a very
No, no,
simple
no.
thing. No, no. You're right. You're right that it's a very simple thing. I have a car. I need to get the maximum efficiency out of it, whether it's a 26 kilowatt battery pack, whether it's 30, whether it's 50, whatever it is. So these software restrictions, Tata should get rid of it now. So it doesn't make sense now. 20% sports mode, you do in
You
the
know, you
road.
are
These
absolutely,
restrictions are not
you are,
fine.
you are absolutely right that they should get rid of the. I mean, there should be option to override the turtle mode basically. And you know what you are saying about Tata charging, it is that their BMS is not so sorted out, and they have owners have had issues when they go below 10% or something, right? Priyansh is here, so he might tell more about that. So there's kind of in the Tata communities that don't go below 10% and charge to 100% every time. That kind of, yes, that's software. Everything is actually software, and yes, it needs to be sorted out. I hope there's no such restriction that every second charge need to be
My so so
100% instead.
you're absolutely bang on, because the thing is, the early EV adopters and people like me or someone else who is into more into EVs, so we can just make peace with this. कि इतने cycle के बाद ये करना है वो करना है. Common man doesn't
Right.
go into these things. But with lot of interaction with people, they just say that we want a car. You just tell me how much range it will give and how to charge it. That's it. I don't know what is charge cycle, what is cell balancing, and all those things.
I think I
So
think
that was my larger
they
point.
I think what they should do. If an owner reaches during the lifetime of ownership, if they reach limp mode 5 times, they can understand what limp mode is, and then they can understand the risk that they are taking. So they should enable three facts, like you can also drive at full 100% efficiency, and like post your limp mode, you can
So,
remove it.
so I will
They should give
again.
that option,
I will just ask. Yeah,
like
you're right. But
after five limp modes, so that they can experience
yeah,
the low power thing, and then they know the risk that they're taking at that five
absolutely right.
percent or ten
Absolutely
percent.
right. So I just wanted to ask you this question: when you went to purchase Punch.ev, did they ever told you that 20% के बाद ये होगा, 10 के बाद ये होगा? They never talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
They just don't tell. That is
Uh,
the,
They don't
so
know. They don't know.
That is also right, but
See,
then they just
it
don't
goes
talk
both ways.
about it.
See, the customer, for them, it's totally new, brand new product. Like, for example, the gentleman whom I had conversation with was quite convinced, like, I should get in Tata Curve EV, but he had no idea, and all the experiences that he had was based on generation one people who had given, I mean, awful feedbacks regarding the EVs. And then there are salesmen, they are, like, not well versed over the subject. So give or take 5 years, I guess things would be smoothened out. I don't know, but that's where our communities like us, we try to help people.
Yeah, that is why we come up with the term na KYE, that you should know your EV, know your EV. So you should be knowing when
Yeah.
turtle mode comes, when the limp mode, those kind of things. So you are absolutely right. So these things will improve, but I would like that if the EVs are simple, so let the software be simple. Let's make it simple for other users to adopt. Like we don't have Nikhil as a friend every day, na. Everyone doesn't have Nikhil in his life.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. And honestly, I've seen salesmen go to, I mean, certain seasoned salesmen, okay, those who would have sold 10 or 15 EVs or maybe more, they literally going and teaching the customer how to fast charge and then charge their cars. So
Yeah, you are right. You are right. And you are absolutely right that EV community comes in a big help in these kind of things. And even there is a method to open those flush door handles. I was like,
ah yeah,
I was like struggling to open those. The guy told me how to open them.
yep. Also
Similar
about
was
that,
that bonnet.
they don't
Yes.
feel
Can I ask?
so delicate, huh? They're not delicate.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
loud and
have
clear.
this question. Like, lots of customers are facing this HV critical error, right? HV battery critical error. Most of them were
Yeah.
complaining about BMS, passive, it being passive BMS. So, is there any upgrade in the BMS in Tata Curvv EV? Do you have any idea?
I would like Nikhil
We
to. I would like Nikhil to speak on this. Yeah.
we are expecting an upgrade in BMS. There should be improvement, but exact details I am still trying to find from Tata and the sources. I will post as soon as I have them,
And
but I can't say anything definite right.
And one more question. What about Tata? They had those who are at highest level of this organization, EV organization. Like, do they are they getting this HV critical error issue to them or not? Like, are they really aware about how?
They, they they are aware, but I don't think they are able to sort out the software in the previous car.
I would just like to add to this, Mr. Mahesh. If we are aware, then they are also aware, right? If
Yeah,
we know, they also know. So that's point blank. If there is an issue in a car, because social media is so active, there people are all the clock over the social media handles, especially they are on Mr. Nikhil and TCIN. They watch it closely and see what he's posting, whether he's got whether he's got everything right about their new product. So so if we are knowing that there is something coming, so they are also on it. And to be very frank, this is people there are people who have got issues with HVC sudden drop. Like if we just see the journey of Nexon,
yeah,
the errors started from D2N, then you had those range issues, then you had those sudden fall of SOC, and then came the HVC, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it wasn't like it came in the first generation immediately.
yeah, yeah. From
And
not from day one.
HVC initially, yeah. So HVC, there is another thing. HVC can come to anyone. It's like Geo. It's like a act of God. It can come to a new car. It can come to a 10,000 car. It can come to 7,000 car. So once this is happening, so I am of the opinion that it is not like Tata is not doing an effort, or they don't have that kind of capacity. So they probably might be addressing it, and we are hopeful that with the
No,
curve, with the change
I
of
would like
battery
to
pack,
mention
maybe
one.
these things are addressed.
And
And another thing I
Uh,
want to just add, just I want to add one thing again.
yeah,
Because Tata cars are being sold the most, you will have these software errors shown up like this more in these cars, right?
Yeah.
If you go into the global EV groups, there are similar kind of this errors which used to come in Tesla also, which used to come in other EV cars, but the level was very less.
Okay.
So I am very hopeful. I am very hopeful that Tata must have addressed this issue, and it should not come in the uh, and if
You know,
because it's now the software game.
bit of
Coming 7 to 8 months, everything would be software, and rest Nikhil can add. Yeah.
yeah, the bit of core issue here is the collaboration between the different Tata departments and all, right? Uh, because the BMS they are sourcing from Goshen. I'm not sure how much Tata can themselves make a change on that or that. Right. So that has an issue. The battery pack is made by Tata Goshen Autocom. Then it is supplied to Tata. Then they do their thing. So there are a lot of things involved, and the Tata really need to go. They really need to just make a separate software department for the AEV, not have different companies and groups do different things. They need to centralize their software department. And till that happen, I think we will keep seeing some bug here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the new cells and hopefully the new updated BMS should be much better in the car. But we need more information on that. I'm not saying anything regarding this.
And one more question I have.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, please.
Yeah, see, it's not about
Yeah. Sure.
Tata Curve. Like today, it is unveiled. So it's been launched already. So we have MG coming up with their own EVs, and they are very particular about EVs as well. So considering their next upcoming EVs, it's close to launch, right? They are going to unveil the next EV, which is basing on Wuling EV.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
considering the the technical aspects, like they are these Chinese are way ahead when compared with anyone else in EV industry, EV tech. So what would how would you take, like if a customer wanted to buy an EV with practical range of 450 km or 400 to 450 km, just like what Tata Curve is going to offer. So what would be your suggestion? Would you ask them to wait till they launch their vehicle, MG, or would you suggest them to go for Tata Curvv EV?
So I will just take
I
this
am
question.
more on the MP design. Just a second. I'm not on the MP design that is coming. Wind solar, whatever we are calling it. But
So
yeah,
I will
battery,
just take this.
etc. That
Yeah.
yeah.
So firstly,
Okay, go ahead.
you are very right that the software and all those things are better in the MG vehicles because they're doing it from long, right?
Yeah.
And they make once they make, they don't make it for a specific region. They make it for the entire like entire region where like they will
A
make it
proper
for
global
Southeast
product.
Asia, they will make it for Europe and everywhere.
Yeah.
So so this one which is now I think the Cloud EV which is named as Windster for India. So
Yeah.
we have not yet got the details, but what it in the regions where it sells, where MG offers this vehicle, it's got two battery packs, 37 one and the 50 one.
Yeah.
So it is rumored, and it is. I had the talk with the MG showroom guys. So they say that most likely two battery packs will come, and it will undercut the ZSEV. So
Okay.
more details will come. I think maybe this August and or probably 9th September. Sometimes the manufacturers do want to have an event on a specific date. So we would have it details, but you are right that way because 5 to 6 EVs are coming. If you ask me, like if I have to ask, because once we are offering an advice to someone, it is always like if I am in that situation, what I will do.
Yeah. We
So
need
I
to.
will currently wait.
Right.
I will currently wait for 5 to 6 months. There is no point buying an EV currently. I would book if I'm in urgency. If I don't have any car, that's a separate issue. But if I already have a car and I am okay with the car. So I would wait for 6 to 7 months because there are a lot of EVs coming and a lot of changes are happening. Uh, in our in our scenario, there are 5 to 7 EVs coming, and with more EVs coming, pricing would get more competitive. Like next one has got a good price drop. With the car of with the kind of car which Curve is, around about that 19 to 20 lakh bracket, it has already hit the BYD Atto 350 kilowatt hour battery pack. So like,
Yeah.
why would I buy that BYD 50 kilowatt hour battery pack once I'm bullet Curve with all those vehicles? So, so there are considerations. So I would suggest everyone to wait for 6 to 7 months if you are in no urgency.
Yeah,
Otherwise, if you want to opt, Curve is a very good car.
and one more question I have. Like
Yeah, yeah.
currently, like 40 to 60 kmph is, when you maintain 40 to 60 kmph in current Nexon, you're going to get, maximum out of the current battery pack. So I heard around 2500 Newton meter of torque, at the motor bearings or something like that. I read something somewhere yesterday. And
Half flip.
somebody told ki, now it would be 70 to 80 km, which would be sweet spot, get the maximum out of, Tata Curve. So do you have any,
So I
idea
would
about
just
it?
add.
I mean, the 40-60, you are okay, they might be getting efficiency, but the speed spot even for Nexon is around 70 constant. I am expecting it to have increased to 80 and 85 something for the first.
So I would just add one thing, and then I think Hariraj would add further to it. So no one, so frankly, no one drives an EV at 40 to 45, right? If
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if even if I have a range anxiety and those kind of, if I have to extract the maximum efficiency, I've tried lot of times in my Hyundai Kona Electric. I am at 55 with AC or 45 with AC, and I am at 75 with AC. At 75, I would travel more rather
Yeah,
than at 45. So the
That's
yeah,
efficiency
yeah.
is like almost the same. So the sweet spot for any EV would be 70 to 75 with auto AC. For Tata EVs, it should be 75, 70 to 75 with economy mode in the AC. Rest, I would think Hariraj would add further because he has driven Punch in this. He's done a long trip. So I would like him to add his experience.
Yeah, so I often drive my car like as if it's an ice car. I rarely look at the range, and I just simply drive it. I'm able to extract around 240 to 260 kilometers out of the battery pack. That's 35 kmph. I mean 35 kilowatt hour battery pack that we have. So please do not focus on the specifics of numbers and everything. Enjoy the damn vehicle that you have. Uh, I mean, focus on the range factor, and when you reach at the bottom percentage SOCs of your car and you're about to reach somewhere and you have some anxiety of kicking in, that's where you look at the numbers and everything. But honestly, I've done Jodhpur trips on my Nexon from Surat to Jodhpur. That's about 1,000 kilometers roughly, and I've driven 80 kmph on cruise, like without any issues. I've done 100 kmph on cruise, no issues at all. Uh, Plan your routes well. That's the thing. Plus, if you have a bigger battery pack, you'll hardly stop at multiple, charging stations. That's one spot where you'll charge and you'll reach your destination. So, uh, sweet spot of riding the car or efficiency, dude. I've achieved more efficiency without region also. So it's up to you how you drive, the kind of heavy foot you have on your pedal, the traffic that you come across. It's all variable factors that come into picture. But I do agree the fact, like for example, weather plays an extensive role on your range. I've driven in 40-degree temperature areas. I've done highway runs on those kind of temperatures, and I've done like around 25, 26 degrees centigrade temperatures highway runs. So I would see an improvement of 5 to 6%, like where a station where I would reach at same 80%, I mean 80 kmph, 100 kmph speed with 14% SOC, I would reach over there with 20%, 21 percent SOC. So temperature plays quite a important role. I mean, I'm not talking about the AC temperatures; it's the ambient outside temperature. So that's my experience, man. I mean, do not focus on those efficiency figures. Uh, just enjoy your ride. That's the main motto out of this, of course. And you're paying for an EV, so it's already a premium ride you're enjoying. No matter if it's Tiago, Tata MG, I mean MG Comet or Tata Curvv, the experience is quite impressive. So enjoy the ride and drive safe. Yeah, and I don't know. They should do something about dash cams, man. I'm quite pissed off with uh, the warranty being void about it, but that's my opinion. But yeah,
I think they are
Uh,
coming with
uh,
those Tata EV original accessories, and it will have a dash cam. They say. The guy was saying that the Tata is bringing specific accessories for EVs because customers are not able to get that because the warranty and all those issues. They will get those electrical accessories also for EV owners, and dash cam would be there for sure.
honestly, the best solution would
you
have
know,
been, since they give 360-degree cameras and everything, just a slot of SD card would have been sufficient for us, like how Auto 3 offers. But
Yeah, you're right. If they would have just given a USB slot and the auto dimming mirror, it would have sorted for any dash cam. It would have been very easy to just fix the dash cam over there.
regarding range, I would say that with the 55 kilowatt hour pack and the expected 400 range, you can easily drive 250 kilometers on whatever speed and then have a charge. I think there are chargers now that speed, that distance level, most of the major places. So
I
with
think Nikhil
the
would
bigger,
Nikhil will agree that this in the presentation Tata showed that C75 range. I think it is similar kind of true range which still gives. So I'm sure that
oh,
probably people will beat this estimate.
they used our formula of two by third of ARA range actually.
Yeah. That is right. So, and
So
even
in the ARA,
even in the presentation, Mr. Anand Kulkarni directly said that ARI does it without AC and at that kind of a speed. So the two moments in the Tata event were really pinnacle for EV industry. First was this ARI range. Uh, OEM themselves are making sure that they are debunking their ARI range. First thing. Second was that pricing that we have priced this car at the like if you have to compare the electric vehicles, you have to compare it with the automatic variants of petrol and diesel. That was really very good. And it probably gave an idea for the ICE guys who want to purchase ICE Curve that which price bracket those cars will come.
this ARI thing was such a headache a couple of years ago when there were talks that Tesla is going to launch. We sent some message that no matter what, don't advertise ARI.
You're right, right. You're right. Even if you I went for the XUV 400 event long time back in Mahindra invited the showroom guys in Chandigarh. So they have an image where they have given the speeds given the range according to the speeds. There was a big flex. It had 80 kilometer per XUV 400 will give this range. At 100 kilometers it will give this range. So that was done by Mahindra at that time. Once they launched that XUV
Automobile
400.
Ather was the first one to have such kind in the two-wheeler space, but yeah, also did this.
honestly,
Someone asked about OTA updates. Uh, yeah, infotainment of OTA updates. Yes, BMS main everything software OTA. I'm not sure. I have asked for confirmation regarding
So this one I have also asked. So they say that it is for the vehicle also, but we are not sure. We can't be 100% sure until we get some confirmation. You are right.
I, I kind of still have some doubt. I don't know why, but we will see.
Imagine someone getting an OTA update and then some error comes, right? So this was the explanation when Tata when I don't remember there was some guy who got a problem with his software and the RSA came and the team came and they sorted it with the laptop. So the guy told that this could have been done over the OTA. It would have been
Yeah.
easy. So, so the explanation even from Tata also, I think one time Mr. Anand gave this explanation that if this will happen because there are multiple layers in the system, if this kind of thing, if we just give to the customer downloading and doing the stuff himself, so it will create a problem for us. So I don't know uh, how much it is fine to
Yeah,
have an OTA update remotely. I'm not sure if we are ready for it also, but we will want it any day.
Tata has developed systems for the Neo and the WinFast. The WinFast is basically Tata,
Then
so
we
they can do it.
I
no
have
no.
a point here
But
Well,
on the
once they
OTA
give the
updates.
software to the user, right? Then AVG and those antivirus software, they will also start giving their services for cars.
okay, guys, if anyone have any last questions, be quick.
Hi.
Like,
Bodhu was saying something.
Sorry, I had one more. Mr. Kulkarni presented that there is around 8 kilometers of wiring in the curve. And you look at Tesla, they were
right.
at 3 kilometers for Model S and then 1.5 for Model 3. Based on the conversations you have with the insiders at Tata, do you see them pushing on the innovation front anytime soon?
No,
Right.
no.
Okay.
Uh, they they don't even have battery pack heating right now. They don't have heat pump right now. The heat pump, they say it is long term for them. So and someone talked about Tata still having for 12 volt. I'm saying don't expect to move to 48 volt anytime soon. Even global automotive makers haven't moved to 48 volt except Tesla. Yeah. Some things will take time, but these are workable things as long as
But Nikhil,
powertrain is solid. So
don't you feel that if the 48 one which people ask that architecture, like we say that that's a 2C architecture, right? So it would become very costly. What do you say?
it would increase cost, but it would also increase the efficiency. And
Right.
that as more and more appliances are being added to accessories are being added to EV, so they don't want energy. So yeah, we are going to need to move to 48 volt. In the Ford CEO agrees. Why they didn't move to 48 volt? Because the suppliers are not ready. So what Tesla did basically was, okay, we make most of the thing ourselves, and they help their suppliers, and then they shifted to 48 volt on the side of it, and the new vehicle. And Tata is still using lead acid as 12 volt. I think they should move to lithium ion.
It's a bit of a shame. No? They have market share. They have good sales of EVs, right? Just I think maybe the reason for them to not push or something and wait for a startup to do the innovation thing, and then they are pushed into doing that.
They are just trying to get things now at maximum, lowest cost and maximum, less least effort possible.
It's like they're not getting the best, let's say, technology in the EV front from actually
No,
leading them.
You
the
are
Curvv is quite
actually
good. We can't update
See,
channel
yeah,
yet.
I mean,
I won't say little of anything. It is quite early Nexon was a bit of that, but updated Nexon was an improvement, and everything has been an improvement for Tata. Yes, I would say that.
to
I
be
think if
honest,
this goes to yeah, go ahead.
I mean, we are in a current market scenario where a brand needs to launch two products every year. So if they give the best of the best in first year, I don't know how they'll survive for the coming years. So it kind of makes sense for them not to give it as of now or invest in those sectors.
We are fine with
I
the
would
things as they work effortlessly without any issue. I think most of them are fine with that. The people are happy with Nexon EV. Just that when the
I would
issues
like to
pop up or the
yeah, you're right. And I would like to add something which Mahesh has really pointed that why we are not innovating and all those things. Look, any innovation or anything which we in specifically in the automotive sector comes with a lot of capital. Automotive industry is a lot of it needs a lot of capital for anything which you are planning. You are right that for people like enthusiasts like us, we would want to see and all those things. So everything goes stepwise. uh, we wouldn't have imagined a Nexon EV back then, and everyone was surprised when the car came. Acha, Tata ki EV. So, and now look, they have sold 1.60 lakh plus EVs, and people are flocking their showrooms. Tata has got that. Tata's first mover advantage will probably end by next year, and then it would be the software game, and nobody is going to provide 48 one and or the two Cs under 25 lakh. That is practically not possible in current scenarios. So we can keep asking for 2C, and we can keep asking for a lot of things which these manufacturers don't give us, because there's a lot of regulations and R&D and all those things. I'm probably happy that 1.75 Tatas are running on the Indian roads, and there is no issue of fire and all those things. It's going very well, and
Tata is
it's
kind of right now alone in the mass market of EV. Maybe, yeah, there's XUV, but Tata is alone. So with competition, they would have to improve things, and they will improve things, because if they want,
no,
people
no.
won't buy them. Yes.
So I will just add to that 2C thing. You see, globally also, not everyone is on 2C. If you see, even if I give you an example, the for example, this X1 which launched in the electric avatar recently, or even that Mercedes EQA, it is still not a 2C, right? So it is lower. It has got the lower thing. So what I feel is 2C and all those charging capacity, they are very expensive for the current scenario, especially considering the EV democratization. Currently, what I always say that all the auto manufacturers, they are putting cars according to the regulations laid down by the government of India. Currently, once these 2026, 27 cafe norms comes, like for example, Mahindra 4 XUV 400. If you see that vehicle when it came at the first place, you would say that, yeah, why are they launching it with this kind of thing? What are they doing? The Mahindra wanted to comply with the carbon footprint norms. They had to launch it, and they had to sell it. That's why they were selling it a lot of discounts, because everyone has to comply to that carbon norms. So they have Mahindra doesn't have hybrid and all those things, so they had to launch it. So with coming 2026, 27, every manufacturer has to launch an EV to comply that norms. And that once the main players like Maruti or Hyundai and these guys come, because they already are good at the carbon footprint, so probably they don't need any vehicle currently, so they are just playing the catch, like we आराम से बैठते हैं, let's see Tata is doing, let's the charging infrastructure improve and all those things. Once we will enter the market, we just have to do A or B or C things. They also know that they have to launch it once the norms come, because there is no way to comply to those norms without an electric vehicle. So my take is that firstly we need to democratize the EVs, and Tata has done a lot to it. Yes, there were issues, software issue, and those kind of things, and we have to agree that we don't have that kind of expert people in India, nor we have that kind of expertise. We have to accept it. China is our adversary. Everything is there, but we have to accept the reality also, that they are far ahead in the EV game than anybody else in the world, right?
I would add some facts here.
Yeah. See, can I ask? Can I proceed, or somebody else is speaking?
No, no. You probably ask the last question, then we wind up the session.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I feel I should be the last one to ask this question. And right now we are talking about Tata Curve, right? So they are, actually,
Yeah, yeah.
targeting, mid SUV segment, like Creta, Seltos with Tata Curve. So considering, Hyundai is also coming up with their, Creta IV. So, generally considered, thing is, Hyundai, these Korean twins are much better at quality, fit and finish and software, related issues. So, you have any idea about what they are coming up with in Creta IV?
So I just add to one thing. You are right that way that I would omit Kia currently on this, because we have only confirmation that Hyundai India will launch Creta Electric by the end of this year.
Yeah,
That's a confirmed thing,
yeah,
right? And you are absolutely right. They have got a sorted battery management system.
Yeah.
I am using Hyundai Kona Electric, so the software is really very, very sorted. There is no doubt about it.
Okay.
The only pitfall is that they use the NCA chemistry, right? NCA and
The
NCM.
NMC,
They
NMC,
don't use
NMC.
LFP batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah, NMC, sorry. So they're not using LFP. So that's a clear disadvantage considering the Indian scenario,
And
right?
okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other aspects like you were saying about the quality and all those things, frankly, I've seen the curve today. The quality is at par with the Koreans.
Okay.
It's not like they have got poor quality. The quality is at par with the Koreans. Yes, you may feel that Creta's cabin is quite uh, uh, upright or a little bit 5% better than the Curve one currently. The interiors which I have seen today, and if I compare with the current Creta. But the problem is, if I have to choose between Curve and Creta, I would go for a safer vehicle, which probably will get a 5 out of 5 rating. Uh,
Okay.
I would prefer that one rather than buying a Creta. Yes, if Creta does a 4 or a 5 rating, I may prefer over that, right?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
again comes to user case scenario and how you market it. And coming to what Creta will come, most likely now the pressure is on Creta because they will have to also come up with the 2 battery packs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably it is rumored that Creta would get the 48 kilowatt hour battery pack, the similar one which comes in the 2024 Kona Electric.
Okay.
If the motor and the battery pack would be the same, which they sell across the other
Boy.
countries, where they offer Kona,
Yeah.
and with the current scenario of Curve, they may get the even 64 kilowatt version also for Creta. So it will come with multiple battery packs. That is sure because the Curve has really changed the game. Curve will be the benchmark for the mid-size electric vehicles. Everyone will try to benchmark Curve from now onwards.
And regarding
One I
NMC
would like to
chemistry.
add is that if the Creta comes with the Kona pack, it would be the nickel based chemistry, not the LFP like Curve.
And one more thing I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to add. One more thing.
But Hyundai, I would just add on this. Hyundai has now got uh,
With
a
Exide,
joint venture
Exide.
with Amar Raja batteries for LFP batteries.
Yeah, and
Right. They
Exide,
for
right?
future
They have
products.
partner.
Yeah.
No, no, no. They partnered with Exide for LFP chemistry for India.
Yeah, you're right. So that would be probably coming in the longer run. But
Right.
in this Creta, I am expecting the similar thing which came in Kona 2024, and it would come with 2 battery packs, 48 and 64. Uh, because Hyundai, we know what they are up to and whatever they have got. So let's see what they come. But considering if personally I have to choose between Curve and Creta, I would prefer safer vehicle rather than non-crash tested vehicle. If I have rating of Creta that it's a 4 or a 5 star, then I probably may pick up Creta or even over the LFP also because considering the quality between those cars. So it's like touch and go. Curve is no way inferior than Creta. Curve would be really a superior product, and by the time Creta comes into the market, you may have some discounts on Curve also. So
Yeah,
current,
right.
you see the pricing of Curve is such a good space that the accomplished variant is at 20 lakh. Consider it after 1 year when lot of cars would be there. You can probably get around 19 to 18 lakh Curve
Yeah, yeah,
after 1 or 1.5 year.
yeah,
So that's a very good deal considering who would have imagined a car in India under 20 lakh and giving a 400 range.
yeah,
Everyone thought 400 range would be 25 to 30 lakh. Things are really changing very fast. I always said to Nikhil in our discussions that 2024-25 would be the benchmark year for the Indian EV industry, and
Right.
that has started to happen. In fact,
yeah. Good for the consumers.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
And Nikhil always at this point that Tata is not and in losses. Tata was only at loss with the EV Prime when they launched initially. Now they are minting money. That is why they can reduce the next one's price immediately by 2 lakhs and still get those because Tata is not worried about cafe numbers that they are reducing the price to comply with the cafe कि हमारे को इतना गाड़ी बेचना है cafe compliance के
No,
लिए
not
because they
even
are
two.
over
Maybe
compliant.
maybe can they three and three and a half. 3 and 3.5. They can easily do. I think.
Yeah, brother. and they are over cafe compliant. उनको कोई टेंशन नहीं है कैफे नॉर्म्स की.
हाँ
ओवर
वो तो उन्होंने
compliant
कहा ही है
OEM
वो,
है टाटा
वो
इसमें.
तो today Shailesh was talking about hybrids and all, so he was like we don't need to worry about cafe, it is for others to worry.
They are
And
over compliant on cafe. They have
yeah,
already so much sales in the CNG also, so they are over compliant.
and I
I
like
love
that they
today
don't
that
they aren't going to
hybrid
hybrids.
is what term he used today.
But
उसने आज टर्म यूज किया ना सर ने, एक कोई टर्म यूज किया था बड़े हाइब्रिड के लिए.
yeah, blasphemous and minuscule size.
दैट मजा, मतलब दैट इज रियली, दैट वुड बी द बज़वर्ड. जैसे जैसे वो एक बारी ओट वाला यूज किया था बजाज वाले ने ना, तो ये
हाँ
वाला
हाँ
वो मतलब वो उस तरह का ही है ये ब्लैक. मतलब मजा आ गया. मतलब दिस व्हाट आई रियली लव अबाउट टाटा इज दे आर प्रीटी क्लियर कि
right.
हमारा फंडा यही है, हमने फंडिंग ली हुई है टीवी के लिए, हम तो यही करेंगे, आपने जो करना है करो. इट्स वेरी गुड.
It's very good. And he said that hybrid is a 20-year-old technology. Why should country go back 20 years? And I'm like, very good. You made me happy
And you are
today.
very right. I always say that the time when we were enjoying the sub 4 meter diesel rule, the
Right.
world was enjoying hybrid at that time.
Absolutely.
It was on to diesel and sub 4 meter because of obvious reasons at that time, because it was cheap. Diesel was cheaper. We had higher mileage. It made business sense for all the country, all the manufacturers also.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Nikhil is here. Another Nikhil. He owns Nexon EV. I think I met him in Delhi.
Yeah, hi.
If we can just ask for
Hi. Can you guys hear me? Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. It is very क्या कहते हैं, good that Tata is doing this. Yes, we met in Delhi when you were here. We guys
Yeah.
क्या कहते हैं, had a little bit session there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a good move by Tata, I feel. But people need to understand that these hybrids which they are selling currently, they are मतलब लोगों को ऐसा लग रहा है that they are a very good value proposition. But in long term, people actually don't know कि किस तरीके की maintenance आएगी, because people are still very much not willing to try out EVs. They are not willing to. They think that कि it's a big range anxiety thing. लोग क्या कहते हैं, जाएंगे अटक जाएंगे, and there is a lot of negative things going around EVs, even with the simplest of things, like if
Right.
there is a security feature on a charger, but people make fun of that. So I feel कि क्या कहते हैं, there is a lot of negative thing which is surrounding the whole EV ecosystem, which which is actually stopping people from buying EVs.
you're absolutely
I would
right.
also like to point that our automaker or even the media environment is far better than the Western countries had or even still have regarding EVs. Obviously, we still have anti-EV pushback, but we are still quite a lot of better in this department than other countries. And yes, owner education definitely need to increase. From people need to listen from owners like you, family and friends, etc.
Yeah.
I will like to add two or three, two or yes, Nikhil, you could go ahead. Yeah,
No, no,
go
it's
ahead,
okay.
please.
It's okay. The thing is कि people actually feel that you are an EV owner, so you are stuck with your car. That's why you're praising your car. But people doesn't want to understand the fact that it is not like that. I have driven my car for like 35,000 kilometers, and when I say that I am running my car without any issues, so people don't actually believe it. I don't know why. Why is it hard for people to not to believe that yes, you can run a car without any issues? So that thing is क्या कहते हैं, very much मतलब लोगों को ऐसा लगता है that you are an influencer, so that is why you are just influencing क्या कहते हैं, us to buy a Tata product. That is it.
Cut you short there.
Yeah.
जब भी people start to say that you are doing this because you are doing this and that, I always say that we are that influencers. We are such kind of influencers. We have got superb influence that we can't even convince our parents to get an EV. So that influencer tag ends there. So this is what I tell to them, that भाई तो आप लोग सोचते हो कि हमारे पास ईवी, हम सबको ईवी दिला देंगे ना भाई. मतलब we can't influence our families. any anti-EV, anything which comes, which is remotely related to anti-EV, my cousins, my friend, they do not lose an opportunity. They immediately message me. कोई सर्वे आया चल मैसेज, किसी ईवी में प्रॉब्लम आया चल मैसेज. So I have made a stock message which I send them to all. And now because considering so many messages, and whenever you like, whenever I am posting, whenever anybody like Nikhil or even Hariraj, whenever he posts a post that I drove here and now I'm charging, this was the cost, and people start what I now call it as anti-EV diarrhea and anti-EV cataract. सो आई ऑलवेज से दैट प्लीज डिस्क्लेमर डाल देता हूँ मैं एंड में कि अगर आपको एंटी डायरिया है, अगर आपको एंटी कैटरैक्ट है, काइंडली प्लीज डू नॉट पोस्ट एनीथिंग. Owner like a
Yeah,
Nikhil or a Hariraj or me, we have adopted a lifestyle. This is not a simple car that I went into a showroom and I bought a car. I have bought an user experience and I'm trying to adapt with that experience with best of my effort. And उसके नीचे एक भद्दा कमेंट आया था एनटीवी का, गुस्सा चढ़ता है फिर, बिकॉज यू आर
अरे
ऑलरेडी इन दैट काइंड ऑफ जोन.
मेरे को
सो
समझ में नहीं आता कि लोगों को क्यों मतलब 100 की स्पीड में भागना और कहते हैं रोड ट्रिप करने हैं बिना रुके, है ना, ना खाने के लिए रुकना है ना किसी के लिए रुकना है. मेरे को 1000 किलोमीटर चलना है बिना रुके, कहेगा मैं रोड ट्रिप करके आया हूँ. तो मगर ईवी से एक तो लोग थोड़ा बहुत फोर्स होंगे एंजॉय करने के लिए, रेस्ट के लिए, और आई थिंक इससे ड्राइविंग ओवरऑल सेफर बनेगी. और आप अगर आप हैवी ड्यूटी व्हीकल्स में जाओगे तो वहां तो और ज्यादा इफेक्ट होने वाला है, क्योंकि अपने यहाँ ट्रक्स वाले ऐसे ही चलते हैं, आप सबको पता है. तो वहां थोड़ा रेस्ट वाला काम होगा ना.
See,
What I will add another thing is that matlab, there is no point going into EV and anti-EV debate. I always try to say this because these companies are not made by me or Nikhil or Hariraj or Aryan or anyone in this group which we are discussing. So these all the manufacturers have to comply certain norms. They have to comply, and they find the best possible way to comply the norms and best possible way to mint the profit. Right? They were minting profit with diesel and 4 meter rule. Now there are regulations. They are bringing us EVs, and nobody will sell a product until unless it is not making sense for them, and कोई डिस्काउंट पे नहीं देगा जब तक उनको मजबूरी नहीं है. Right? So it is pointless to be into anti-EV and EV debate and ठीक है environment. And another thing I would like to add is the biggest another thing that people start now, भाई इतनी electricity कहाँ से आएगी? The simple answer to this question is 90% of our railways run on electricity currently. So if the railways can run with 90% electricity, so we can probably run, anyone can run, अगर सारे ईवी भी ले लेंगे तभी वो ग्रिड चला लेगा. ठीक है, तो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ मिसकंसेप्शंस एंड it will take lot of time. People will because it's an adaptability. So for
people are
people to
not
getting
even people are not
adopt to
sorry, I'm interrupting you. People are not even
yeah
aware
yeah
of the simple fact that के energy loss भी होता है when a grid is running on full capacity, and अगर उसको वो
exactly
use नहीं कर रहे हैं तो it's an energy loss for them as well.
yeah. And another thing is most of the people have made opinions without even test driving the vehicle.
Without even
Because
They've
sitting in
never
one.
driven an
Yeah.
EV.
Yeah.
because एक perception,
Exactly.
Dude, honestly,
because there's a perception going on.
I can vouch on this fact.
There's a
I mean, you guys are totally right about this, and I'm jumping on this factor because, like, timing what sahi बैठ रहा है. As in, for example, recently during the weekend we had a small trip of like about 200 kilometers, and I was going with my friends. We were 6 people, so there were two cars, Honda City and my car. Um, when we finished the entire trip, I was asked like, "What's the cost? How much kitna pay karna hai?" I simply told them it's just 250 rupees to do the entire trip and come back. That's when they realized the power of EV and then potential देखा कि like wow ऐसा भी होता है, and then they ride experience and everything followed later on. And then before that they were literally skeptical कि ये क्या है, ये तो like खिलौना है, they simply charge it and roam around.
I would like to add one more thing here. Can I?
And I would just a second, just one thing. Then I think then we will ask Kapil, then Mahesh, sir, right? So I would just like to add, maybe Nikhil and Hariraj will again add to it. Probably I have never given my ice car, or I had Brezza, still have it. I had never given it to someone to have a test drive for it. But considering Kona and all my other electric vehicles, I openly say that भाई चला के आओ मेरे को कुछ मत पूछो. So I would just give you an example. I have an e-bike which I don't use cars in my city. So I had given so much test drive on that e-bike that people start to love that technology. And currently, you are very right, Haryal, that currently we have cost advantage and all those things in the buying also. Currently, GST is like that. We don't have RTO, and even in the coming scenario, if the RTO also comes and if the GST also increases, that would be by 2030, not happening anytime soon. जब तक 15% पे मार्केट नहीं आता 10% पे आरटीओ चेंज नहीं आने वाला अपनी ईवी इंडस्ट्री में इंडिया के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में. So uh, so once people start to understand two basic things, that EVs are far better to drive, silent, and all those things. Probably a decent EV can beat a bigger SUV on a traffic light. Like I can't buy a 2 crore supercar, but I can settle with a punch and I can beat that supercar if I have to do that kind of thing also. So in terms of driving and total cost of ownership uh, in the EVs, if they are above 20 lakhs, you can recover the you can sorry, EVs literally beat any car, any ICE car or CNG with the total cost of ownership, running cost, what you say. Below 20 lakh, if your running is high, you can even get the ROI for a businessman who can take the depreciation on all those things also. So I would not now like to ask Mr. Kapil to please speak, then Mahesh sir, then Mr. Nikhil, right? We'll go in this order. Mr. Kapil, please.
Okay, I'm not hearing anyone. Are you?
No, can't
Yeah,
hear.
No,
can I
Mr.
continue?
Mahesh. Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Mahesh continues, then Nikhil can go ahead, right?
yeah.
Yes,
I
Mr.
would
Mahesh,
want to
please.
add. Yeah, I would want to add one more thing here. Couple of minutes ago, you were discussing about power, the electricity to for the EVs, and I actually work in power transmission industry, so I can give my insights about it. So right now, what is happening is our grid is getting distributed. So previously, what used to be the condition was like generation stations were they are far ahead from consumer points. Right now what is happening due to this solar is the consumer itself himself is becoming prosumer. He is producing and consuming it. So you believe it or not, during peak hours, while we purchase a unit at 12 rupees per unit, right now that has come down to 3 rupees 41 paise with battery storage during latest tenders in Gujarat. So now you can
Right, right, right.
imagine how we are going to get the energy. So if possible, educate people about how we are going to get energy as well. We are not going to depend
Right.
on fossil fuels going ahead.
Uh,
So
Yeah, you're right,
we
you
need
Rajesh.
know,
not to bother
we
about
are
electricity.
we are going to do a space, especially on this regarding EV myths and all. I think in a week or two. And for now, if you guys can just keep it brief, it's been about 2 hours, and I need to go.
So
So,
we just wind up with Mr. Kapil and then Nikhil final. So Mr.
right.
Kapil, please go ahead. Mr. Kapil, please go ahead.
Hello, is my voice audible?
Yeah, you are audible now. You are audible now. Please go ahead, sir.
हाँ सो मैं ये सो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू ऐड कि आपने जैसे कहा कि जो एंटी ईवी पीपल होते हैं हाइब्रिड इज द न्यू सोल्यूशन नॉट ईवी सो उनका एक ही दैट इज अ फ्लॉ जो वो बात करते हैं कि जब प्लग इन ईवी की बात करते हैं आई डोंट थिंक एनी मैन्युफैक्चरर इज लॉन्चिंग प्लग इन ईवी लाइक वो ईवी पे भी चार्ज करके एंड देन वो चलाए ऐसे नहीं होता है
You're
सो
right.
एनी आइडिया अबाउट दैट
I
Uh,
would
So
take your
considering,
plug-in question. Yeah. So basically, what
yeah,
happened has in the world, in the US and in Europe, that people have taken bought the PHEV plug-in ones just for taking the benefit of subsidies. And when their lease were over, They have returned their vehicle without even opening their charging cable for once. It was packed as it is in quite a lot of cases. So while yes, in theory it might sound good, and it is good. Many people have used, for example, Chevy Volt in US. They have just driven basically on electricity, but a lot of people haven't ever plugged in. So it's kind of a mix of both, and it becomes inefficient
And
also. If
in
you are going on long trip, you're just after 50, 60, 60 kilometers, you are using your petrol engine. You are lugging a heavy battery around. You know,
I would like to
engine is
add
also
on
there.
this.
Yeah.
Actually,
just
think
I would just I would just like to add one thing. Then Nikhil can wind up the session. Nikhil will speak last, and then probably the TCIN one Nikhil will finalize it. So considering the Indian scenario, we don't have an affordable PHEV, nor it will come, nor it will be available. So that point is gone. We don't have to bother about it. So then comes hybrid. In hybrid is also only Japanese, Toyota and Suzuki's uh, going for it because they don't have that kind of technology currently to get EVs. Probably they will be launching an EV, and that is also जब तक डेमोक्रेटाइज नहीं होने वाली टेक्नोलॉजी जब तक कुछ नहीं होने वाला एंड once Nikhil's point he added a very good point that once these cars would start getting service once the service is done uh, uh, once the service cost becomes clear then people would realize what they have landed up to if they would got an EV at that time that would have been far better hybrid is currently the it is kind of a, like if I have got an Apple iPhone, I would say Apple got an iPhone. So hybrid is that kind of that buzzword for people saying yes, hybrid is wow cool. It is a cool thing now in current auto industry, which will phase out in 2 to 3 years. So this is my take. Nikhil should add on
yeah.
to his
I
views.
would,
Right.
yeah. I have a two, three things to add to this. Firstly, if we talk about the plug-in hybrid kind of a thing, actually in India, I feel that it can be a good proposition to be very honest because people in India are actually driving CNG cars. तो लोगों को आदत पड़ी हुई है कि हम जब तक हमारी गाड़ी सीएनजी पे चलेगी तब तक हम सीएनजी पे चलाएंगे 5 किलोमीटर हम पेट्रोल पे चलाएंगे सो पीपल लोगों का माइंड सेट वैसा है इंडिया के अंदर तो इट माइट बी अ गुड प्रोपोजिशन टू एक्चुअली लॉन्च अ प्लग इन हाइब्रिड इन इंडिया
But plug-in
दिस इज
You know,
hybrid
माय
would
Nikhil,
not
I
come.
would add
Plug-in
that
hybrid would not
current.
come at a plug-in hybrid अभी कौन सी है इंडिया में कैमरी है उसकी कैमरी आई थिंक कैमरी के नीचे तो कोई
नहीं
भी नहीं है
प्लग इन हाइब्रिड अभी
No,
कोई भी नहीं है
कोई भी
ओनली
नहीं है तो एक तो ये हो गया एंड
स्कोडा इज क्या कहते हैं प्लानिंग टू लॉन्च इट ओनली स्कोडा इज प्लानिंग टू लॉन्च इट इन इंडिया
यहाँ पे एक छोटी सी बात मैं ऐड करूंगा कि आप इंजन के साथ अगर बैटरी भी जोड़ रहे हो तो उसका प्राइस अभी करंट वाली ईवी के पास ही पहुंच जाएगा
अब उससे ज्यादा
वो
पहुंचेगा सर ऐसा नहीं है
ज्यादा
कि उससे
पहुंचेगा
उससे
एग्जैक्टली
ज्यादा पहुंचेगा दैट
एंड
इज नॉट अ क्वेश्चन वो ज्यादा
या
पहुंचेगा बट अगर वो प्लग इन हाइब्रिड आएगी तो वो प्लग इन हाइब्रिड की अगर आप वो ड्यूल मोड पे चलेगी तो इट विल बी लाइक क्या कहते हैं 60-50 किलोमीटर पर लीटर पे चलेगी पीपल विल बी अट्रैक्टेड टू दैट एज वेल और
तो
पीपल आर
20 लाख
क्या
में
कहते
आने
हैं
वाली है कोई
ओनली
कोई
ओनली
नहीं
स्कोडा
नहीं
अभी
आने
जो
वाली सर
स्कोडा की
स्कोडा का तो
हाँ
मजबूरी है स्कोडा का मजबूरी इसलिए है जस्ट एड स्कोडा का भी कोई भी गाड़ी जो आई थिंक दे विल लॉन्च मतलब मुझे पर्सनली लगता है अगर पीएच अगर प्लग इन आना होता तब तक आ जाता एंड टू कमिंग टू द अडेप्ट टू कमिंग दो मतलब मुझे लगता है कि अडॉप्टेबिलिटी के मार्जिन में ना हमारे यहाँ पे ज्ञानी इतने हैं ना कि ज्ञान आपको मिलने शुरू हो जाता है स्टार्ट से ही जैसे कि
दैट इज ट्रू
सीएनजी जब आया 2014 में 10 में सॉरी
हाँ
2010 आई थिंक 2010 में आया था सीएनजी टुडे इज
या
2024 14 साल में सीएनजी के सिर्फ 3 ब्रांड्स हैं जो सीएनजी दे रहे हैं महेंद्र योर
नहीं आई फील क्या
Hyundai
कहते हैं सब
and
दे रहे हैं
Tata.
आज के टाइम पे
There is none
आज के
other
टाइम पे
brand.
नो नो
तीन ही दे
होंडा
रहे हैं सर
यू नो
होंडा
कौन
इज
सा
गिविंग
और
तीन
कौन दे रहे
तीन
हैं
होंडा
तीन
होंडा इज
चार
गिविंग
साल
होंडा इज
पहले
नॉट
होंडा
तक
इज
गिविंग
गिविंग
सीएनजी का
होंडा
क्रेज था
कौन
ही नहीं फोर
किसमें
व्हीलर में इतने
सीएनजी की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं
हाँ
होंडा
होंडा
किसमें
इज गिविंग
सीएनजी दे रहा
सीएनजी
है
होंडा आजकल एलिवेट में
किसमें
सीएनजी
दे
दे
रहा
रहा
है
है एलिवेट में सीएनजी दे रहा है
आर यू श्योर आई डोंट
आई
थिंक
एम
सो
100% श्योर कंपनी फिर डाल रही है
एंड और एक छोटी सी माइक्रो एसयूवी है उसमें भी देती है.
या इवन दे आर
किसमें
इवन दे आर क्या कहते हैं गिविंग इट इन अमेज
या यू
even
आर यू
they
नो
are giving
व्हाट
it
आई
in
वाज सेइंग
amaze
दैट
and elevate matlab they have launched recently and they are giving it in both the space.
I would need maybe I would have to recheck it again because I'm pretty sure that even they don't have that kind of volume, so that's a separate issue. But what I'm trying to say is अडेप्टेबिलिटी के मामले में अपने यहाँ पे इतने ज्यादा ज्ञानी हो जाते हैं, उस वक्त सीएनजी लोगों क्यों नहीं लेनी थी भाई, आग लग जाएगी भाई, सिगरेट नहीं पी
Exactly.
सकते हम गाड़ी में, बड़ा सिंपल एग्जांपल है। ठीक है, तो
Exactly.
आज के टाइम में एटलीस्ट वी ईवी मतलब ईवी के रिलेटेड एटलीस्ट वी हैव कम आउट ऑफ दैट फायर स्टेज कि आग लग जाएगी, ये हो जाएगा, बैटरी ब्लास्ट हो जाएगी, हम उस फेज से निकल आए हैं बाहर। दिस इज प्रोबेबली व्हाट आई फील नाउ दैट
नहीं,
दोस
टू व्हीलर
क्वेश्चन
में तो अभी भी है।
नहीं, I don't think so.
especially in North India, those questions have reduced a lot. Now I don't get this question कि भाई गाड़ी में आग तो नहीं लगेगी, मतलब ईवीज में स्पेशली
वो
तो सी
स्कूटर्स का तो अभी भी आता है, देखो मेरे क्वेश्चन
स्कूटर्स का अभी भी है,
वो
स्कूटर्स का अभी भी है, यू आर राइट, स्कूटर्स का अभी भी है।
And जो हम बात
आई
कर रहे थे,
थिंक
we were talking about the क्या कहते हैं sports car kind of a thing. Today we have a car, we have BYD Seal, which actually gives क्या कहते हैं मतलब if I buy it for 55 lakh rupees, it is like 3.8 seconds में I can actually go 0 to 100. तो मुझे 2 करोड़ की Porsche लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. It's
बैंग ऑन
faster
बोल
than
रहे हो
that.
आप, बिल्कुल सही।
It is faster than
बिल्कुल
that.
सही
So
बोल रहे
today
हो।
today I just
कैन यू
need 55 lakh to क्या कहते हैं fulfill my desire.
एग्जैक्टली एंड
Just the
कैन यू इमेजिन
Phil birthday.
brother, can you imagine 40 BYD seals have been sold by the Chandigarh dealership?
I'm sure even in Gurgaon, I live in Gurgaon, and I actually see a lot of seals के कहते हैं been delivered in Gurgaon because people are crazy about speeds here. So
Yeah,
you
you're absolutely right.
you are actually getting a Porsche for 55 lakh rupees. Then why would you not buy it?
एंड अदर तो बस BYD सील में उसका जीसी का बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है भाई, अदरवाइज
I'm
इट्स
sure
फाइन।
I'm sure है, but if you will compare it with the Porsche that sells for
नो नो,
2
that is
crore
just a
rupees,
passing comment, just
मतलब
no,
that
that is just a
even
passing comment
even
in
that car has a GC problem. It is
उस
not
सेगमेंट में तो सबका जीसी ऐसे ही है, उस
exactly.
सेगमेंट में तो सबका जीसी ऐसे ही होता है, यू आर
Exactly,
राइट, यू आर राइट,
exactly. Because वो
यू आर
aerodynamically तभी क्या
एब्सोल्युटली।
कहते हैं वो होगी. So the thing is
हाँ
कि
नहीं, सही बोल रहे हो।
people need to just क्या कहते हैं थोड़ा सा negativity I feel बहुत ज़्यादा है मार्केट में EVs को लेके, and वो range anxiety का जो apprehension है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है. But actually kudos to क्या कहते हैं Tata Motors that they have 19 lakh rupees में एक showroom में they have launched a car which will actually run 400 plus kilometers, and it will be a
या
wonderful car in my opinion. I have
यू आर
I
एब्सोल्युटली
have
एंड can you imagine somebody living in Chandigarh who can get the top model at 23 lakh and then can claim 1.5 lakh subsidy on that?
even UP government is giving 1 lakh rupee subsidy currently.
Yeah,
So
UP also, yeah, you're
yeah,
right, you're right.
I have bought my car क्या कहते हैं in हरियाणा. I got मेरे को अपनी Nexon में 2.5 लाख रुपए सब्सिडी मिली थी. Actually 3 lakh rupees plus सब्सिडी मिली थी. So I was
Right.
क्या कहते हैं it was a very good move for me at that time to buy that EV. But currently भी अगर हम प्राइस की बात करें for
I
19
always
lakh
say,
rupees,
हाँ,
19 लाख रुपीस में आपको 55 किलोवाट आवर की बैटरी मिल रही है. That car is cheaper than Creta's top model, and which doesn't have features. मतलब Creta का आज अगर आप डीजल का या पेट्रोल का टॉप मॉडल लेंगे, it will cost you around 23.5 lakh rupees. गुड़गांव.
you're right.
So
आइस में क्या होता है, लोग लोग बेस मॉडल लेके वो बाहर से ऐड
तभी
करवाते
तो
हैं।
सर वहां पे गाड़ी में आग
बट
भी तो
निखिल,
लगती है.
वो ज्यादा वो ना ज्यादा नहीं है लोग, वो हैं लोग बट वो
नहीं, वो
ज्यादा नहीं है, मतलब आपको
एनसीआर
बताऊं।
में बहुत हैं. एनसीआर में बहुत सारे
हाँ
हैं.
एनसीआर
एनसीआर
में
में
बहुत
बहुत
है,
है,
बिकॉज करोल
एनसीआर में बहुत
बाग
है।
इज
और
एज वी
दूसरा
कॉल देम
आई वुड
सबरीज,
जस्ट,
देयर आर लॉट ऑफ देम।
करोल बाग
करोल
इज नियर बाय. तो क्या कहते हैं पीपल,
या
एंड सबसे
बड़े
ज्यादा
बड़े
आग
मॉल
भी
ले
उनकी
लिए हैं,
कार्स में लगती है.
ऐसे नहीं वो उन्होंने बड़े बड़े मॉल। You are absolutely bang on, absolutely bang. And moreover, with this price question, Tata's smart thing was what they मतलब टाटा ने देखो करा क्या है, they launched Curvv ईवी, उन्होंने प्राइसिंग में ऐसे बता दिया कि हमने जो पेट्रोल ऑटोमेटिक और डीजल ऑटोमेटिक की बी सेगमेंट की गाड़ी है उनके करीब रखा है, ठीक है। और उन्होंने एंड टाटा विल बी लॉन्चिंग द डीसीए ऑटोमेटिक्स एज वेल, दे वर टारगेट नाउ, दे हैव टारगेटेड दैट बी सेगमेंट कोरियंस with both the things, they've sent everything to their showrooms कि
I would
हमारी इलेक्ट्रिक भी
I
आपसे
would
सस्ती
like
आएगी
to I would
और
like to
बराबर
just say this one thing. Tata has actually killed the competition. टाटा की नेक्सॉन जब आई,
एग्जैक्टली
क्या कहते हैं, एमजी ने प्राइस कम किया. एमजी इज नाउ एट 19 लाख रुपीज फॉर द बेस मॉडल एंड दे आर नॉट इवन गिविंग अ चार्जर विद दैट कार. 50 किलोवाट आवर की बैटरी है, चार्जर भी नहीं दे रहे हैं. यू हैव टू पे 55,000 रुपीज एक्स्ट्रा फॉर द चार्जर. फर्स्टली दैट. सेकेंडली, आज हम कह
या
रहे हैं कि Hyundai आएगी या मारुति आएगी, दे विल कम विद अ 50 किलोवाट आवर बैटरी. डू यू थिंक कि आज की डेट में Hyundai अपनी क्रेटा का टॉप मॉडल डीजल का या पेट्रोल का 23 लाख रुपीस में बेच रहा है, वो उससे सस्ता ईवी का मॉडल बेचेगा?
that is a very that like this is actually मैं कर्व के ये
वो
पोस्ट
कर्व को
बना रहा
देख
हूँ
के
एक दो
बेचना पड़ेगा अपन को।
बेच
ना
ही
ना
नहीं
मैं
वो
पाएगा
पोस्ट मैं
कर्व
ऐड
को
सर.
देख
करता हूँ
के
मैं
बेच ही नहीं पाएगा सर.
निखिल इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट. आई वाज जस्ट मेकिंग पोस्ट अबाउट कर्व. उसके लिए डिटेल्स दिख रहा था मैं 2-3 दिन से मतलब एक आज सुबह से बैठा हुआ. तो दिस इज व्हाट वी वर थिंकिंग दैट टाटा ने क्योंकि बिकॉज टाटा हैड टू कम इनटू अ सेगमेंट व्हिच इज वेरी क्राउडेड एंड it is like Creta is the king of the segment, and to beat someone in that game, they'd really तो वहां से वॉल्यूम अगर लेकर आना है, आप प्राइस पॉइंट से भी लेकर आ रहे हो कि मेरी गाड़ी आपकी इस गाड़ी के ऐसे मिल रही है ईवी वाली, और आपने उसका आइस वर्जन भी लॉन्च करना है. अब वो आइस भी उसके कंपटीशन में आ गया और ईवी भी उसके कंपटीशन में आ गया. एंड निखिल इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट. नाउ Hyundai will have to launch multiple battery packs. तो ईवी एक तो मारुति का तो पहले एक्सपेक्टेड था कि 2 बैटरी पैक आने
And
वाले
I
हैं.
would like to add one more
बट
thing. I'd like to add one more thing. एंड अगर टाटा ने अभी गाड़ी लॉन्च कर दी एंड Hyundai विल टेक अनदर, क्या कहते हैं, 5 मंथ्स और 6 मंथ्स और ईयर टू लॉन्च, टाटा विल फर्दर रिड्यूस दिस प्राइसिंग बिकॉज टाटा के पास उतने
एंड
वॉल्यूम्स आ जाएंगे. टाटा अपनी वो गाड़ी
एग्जैक्टली
उतनी, क्या कहते हैं, वॉल्यूम पर करेगा तो टाटा विल क्रिएट मोर एंड मोर कंपटीशन. वो इट विल बी वेरी
एंड
वेरी.
और
वो तभी तो एक्साइटिंग टाइम अगले 2 साल, हम कब से कह रहे हैं कि अगले दो
और
साल
आप ये
में
देखो ना कि
कंपटीशन बहुत आने वाला
साथ में जो नेक्सॉन का प्राइस रिड्यूस हुआ है, उसने और ज्यादा
है। हाँ,
उसने और ज्यादा रिपल्स क्रिएट करने
अभी
हैं
आप
बिकॉज
देखिए
और गाड़ियां भी तो बिक रही हैं.
अभी आप देखिएगा नेक्सॉन का प्राइस और रिड्यूस होगा. यू जस्ट वेट एंड वॉच फॉर अ फ्यू मंथ्स.
आराम से होगा।
यू आर राइट.
मैं तो कह रहा हूँ 3
एंड
लाख होगा कम से कम।
नहीं, नेक्सॉन 3 लाख नीचे नहीं जाएगी. आई फील, क्या कहते हैं, कि
इससे नीचे नहीं जाएगा.
दे विल डू समथिंग स्मार्ट.
इससे
आई डू नॉट वांट टू स्पेकुलेट बट दे विल डू समथिंग स्मार्ट जो आपको 2 महीने में नजर आएगा.
I think that they will upgrade it to an active and or they'll get a panoramic
नहीं
sunroof and all
नहीं,
those things.
उनको
वो
उनको
आएगा आएगा.
उनको वो करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. यू आर मिसिंग अ स्मॉल थिंग एंड वो 2 महीने में करके आपको वो दिखाएंगे.
तो Tata
So
is
are you
adding
hinting
panoramic
lower
sunroof.
battery?
सॉरी.
Are you hinting lower battery? मतलब वो किलोवाट कम कर देंगे?
नहीं, किलोवाट उतना ही रहेगा
नहीं
सर.
नहीं
40 से नीचे वो जा नहीं पाएंगे बिकॉज, क्या कहते हैं, पीपल नीड एटलीस्ट 300 किलोमीटर्स का रेंज. एक प्रैक्टिकल रेंज 300 किलोमीटर का चाहिए. एंड टाटा वुड नॉट डू दैट बिकॉज उनकी वो अपनी मार्केट हर्ट नहीं करना चाहते हैं. मतलब दे एक्चुअली वांट टू हैव अ गुड एक्सपीरियंस विद द अर्ली एडाप्टर्स ताकि वो अपनी मार्केट को मैच्योर कर सकें बिकॉज दे वांट टू एक्चुअली लॉन्च गुड कार्स इन द फ्यूचर एज वेल. They are coming up with Harrier, they are coming up with Safari, they are coming up with, क्या कहते हैं, Sierra. So they want to actually create a proper EV ecosystem so that, क्या कहते हैं, they will be market leaders in India if this is what they are trying to capture and they have
And
been
add to
doing
add
that.
to add to Nikhil's point is absolutely correct that Tata is probably on the right path and with their and their time. We do daily timelines ना कि आज मैं ये करूंगा. Tata has not missed even one deadline on their electric vehicles. Once they showed the Tata
Exactly.
Curvv concept in 2022 में उन्होंने दिखाया, 2024 में लॉन्च करके उन्होंने डन कर दी डील. And
Exactly,
it takes courage to launch it in electric version first.
exactly
It takes a lot of courage to come into an electric space.
last
एंड इट
year.
विल बी द बेंचमार्क. मतलब ये गाड़ी आप देखो ना करा क्या उन्होंने. उनकी अभी तक जो भी गाड़ियां हैं, टियागो बेंचमार्क इन दैट सेगमेंट, पंच बेंचमार्क, कर्व बेंचमार्क, आगे आने वाले टाइम में हैरियर बेंचमार्क, तो मतलब ये सारी बेंचमार्क रहेंगी
सर
गाड़ियां।
आप टाइमलाइन देखिए ना, अगर आप टाइमलाइन की बात करें, टाटा ने लास्ट ईयर 2023 फॉल में दे हैड क्या कहते हैं, महिंद्रा ने अपना कॉन्सेप्ट लॉन्च किया दैट वी विल बी कमिंग अप विथ 3 कार्स विथ 3 EVs, वी विल बी कमिंग अप विथ 3 EVs। टाटा ने एक्टिव प्लेटफॉर्म लॉन्च किया और उसके 2 महीने के अंदर अंदर पंच EV वॉज ऑन द रोड। मतलब दे आर लॉन्चिंग समथिंग विद अ टाइमलाइन कि हम 2 महीने में कम से कम एटलीस्ट उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे एक गाड़ी तो निकाल दें। नाउ विद इन क्या कहते हैं 6 to 7 months they have launched another car on the same platform and
No,
they
you're
will
right.
be
You're right. Even if you consider, even if we just have to wind up the session, if you consider Mahindra also, they are also sticking to their timelines.
no,
उन्होंने भी
I don't
timeline,
feel
मतलब उनकी
I don't
timeline
feel
भी
that.
shorted
See, for
है।
Mahindra 1.5 साल में
No,
आप
I have
लोग
got
XUV
actually I have
400
got the
से
नहीं, you're no. Just I'm just interrupting. XV 400 was
But
because of the cafe norms point black, right?
yeah
They had an unfortunate situation that supplier ने उनको बैटरी दी ही नहीं।
yeah
उनको जो उनका सप्लायर था
yeah
LG,
yeah I know
उनका
that.
जब उनका हाँ, तो अभी महिंद्रा is sticking to their
Suno,
timelines. The event which they had in August, it was kind of a perfect wrap, and their timings are pretty clear. So we will keep this timelines for something someday else. I
Definitely.
think if any
I
other
mean,
question for Curvv, we have to wind up the session because now TCIN Nikhil is getting angry. So there will be a critical
no, I
alert
would add
in this
that
session.
Mahindra was showing us EV since 2018 and 20 that we are doing this EKUV 100 and XUV 300. I saw that in the 2020 Auto Expo also. But they are
Yeah,
so
right,
delayed in
right.
that they didn't do anything about EKUV. They took bookings I think initially, but they
No,
didn't
no.
launch it or
What
whatever.
happened? What happened with the Mahindra? I have a guy who works very closely. So what happened was immediately after the Auto Expo, COVID happened, and their plans got sabotaged, and they wanted to get their ICE things updated. So probably they were thinking that way, and ठीक है, मतलब now their line timelines are pretty clear.
थिंग वाज कि टाटा का
Electric
टाइम आ
XUV
गया था,
7,
टाटा का टाइम ज्यादा तेज था,
हाँ,
तो
मतलब you are
क्या
right
कहते
that way.
हैं
Tata grabbed that
या
opportunity.
टाटा ग्रैब
Tata
दैट
grabbed
ऑफ
that op. You are absolutely right.
या
हाँ. And Mahindra की timeline बिल्कुल clear है. You will have XUV 800 in December. Then Auto Expo you will have BE5, and by the end of this year
with
BE9 आ
even with
जाएगा,
that timeline
B7 आ
Tata will
जाएगा. Hope
even with that timeline Tata will actually add 3 more cars, तो वो एक बहुत ही बड़ा क्या कहते
टाटा
हैं
will have an
वॉर होने
advantage.
वाला है। या
टाटा का जो फर्स्ट मूवर एडवांटेज है, उसको प्रोबेबली कोई नहीं बीट कर सकता। मतलब
ट्रू
आई डोंट थिंक सो
ट्रू
somebody else can beat
टा,
Tata's
टा, टाटा का एडवांटेज दो चीज खराब कर सकते हैं, या तो उनकी सर्विस या सॉफ्टवेयर। अगर ये ठीक रखा कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
सी टाटा आई
ये तो मैं एग्री करता हूँ।
आई वुड नॉट से दैट टाटा का मैं फैन हूं या कुछ नहीं, बट सिंस द टाइम आई हैव परचेज द कार, टाटा ने एक्सक्लूसिव ईवी शोरूम्स खोल दिए हैं, एक्सक्लूसिव ईवी सर्विस सेंटर्स खोल दिए हैं। आई हैव सर्व्ड माय कार ट्वाइस ऑन द एक्सक्लूसिव ईवी सर्विस सेंटर एंड एक्चुअली में दे आर ऑन पॉइंट विद क्या कहते हैं कोरियंस, और आई इवन हैव अ सेल्टॉस एट माय प्लेस, सो दे आर इवन बेटर देन दैट। मतलब अभी
No, definitely there is
सर्विस के
progress.
I
I'm
मामले में
saying
भी
just
that
wanted to
if
know.
anything is
सर्विस।
to hamper Tata, these two would be the thing. If they
So what
don't, if they
I would
somehow
add to
get out of
I
the
would
path.
finally add to this thing in service. What I feel is it is all dealership dependent,
या
किसी भी ब्रांड
Right.
का।
या
So sometimes what I मतलब मैंने जो ऑब्जर्व किया है, कई बारी जैसे कोई निखिल ने पोस्ट डाली या हम कोई पोस्ट डालते हैं टाटा की, तो देयर आर पीपल हु जस्ट स्टार्ट, मतलब यार अगर आपकी गाड़ी, अगर आपको डीलरशिप ने गलत ट्रीट किया है,
या
सो व्हाई आर यू वेंटिंग दोज फ्रस्ट्रेशन ऑन आवर टाइमलाइंस,
या
राइट? सो एक तो ये पॉइंट हो गया। दूसरा योर दूसरा आफ्टर सीइंग कर्व आई लिटरली कैन से द पैनल गैप्स एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स दे आर लिटरली वेरी सॉर्टेड इन कर्व। ये वैसा नहीं है कि आप पंच आइस देख लो, कुछ में
सर
अलग अलग थोड़ा सा पैनल गैप है।
मैंने टेस्ला चलाई है।
इवन विवेक
आ,
इवन
आप
इवन
रो
विवेक
देंगे।
श्रीवास्तव even Vivek Srivastava मतलब he acknowledged that there are some quality issues and they are doing it। मैं वही बोलता हूँ, अगर हमें पता है तो उनको भी पता है। ऐसा नहीं हो सकता वो कुछ कर नहीं रहे हैं यार, इतनी इन्वेस्टमेंट है, इतनी बड़ी कंपनी
सर
है,
आप टेस्ला,
ठीक है
अगर आपने
मतलब।
कभी टेस्ला चलाएं, आप रो देंगे पैनल गैप को देख के। मतलब वी एक्चुअली एंड एज
या
एन
यू राइट, माय
ईवी,
फ्रेंड्स है, बिल्कुल सही बोल रहे हो।
एज एन ईवी इंथ्यूजिस्ट क्या कहते हैं, वी ऑलवेज से वी वांट टू बाय एन टेस्ला। बट आप अगर उसके पैनल गैप देखेंगे, बट आप उसकी क्वालिटी देखेंगे, आई विल बी लाइक यार ये है टेस्ला। सच में मतलब वी आर इन दिस, क्या कहते हैं, टेस्ला इज समथिंग विच इज अ बॉम्ब प्रोडक्ट, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट्स ऑल्सो अ कार। उसमें टाटा से ज्यादा पैनल गैप्स दिखते हैं, ट्रस्ट मी ऑन दिस, एंड दैट इज ट्रू।
यू आर, मेरे मेरे जो डॉक्टर
Nikhil,
फ्रेंड्स है बाहर, यू
Yeah.
राइट, यू राइट।
या
sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to know कि you just mentioned कि EV exclusive service centers है, ये दिल्ली में हो गए शायद,
गुड़गांव में,
am I right?
गुड़गांव में
और
है, गुड़गांव में है।
So next
ये
year
कहीं और भी है क्या,
they are
मुंबई
opening in,
साइड में कहीं है?
they,
टाटा
no
इज,
no no Kapil, I would like to just add to the
केरला में ऐड
showroom.
करेंगे अभी वो।
Kerala, they will be launching in Kerala EV specific
Yeah.
showroom and service center. They probably will add 50 showrooms by next year. This is their
या
target.
या, and four showrooms will be launched
So
this
we can
year
wind
in
up the
different
session, I
cities.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
एक uh,
Just one last question,
one
just one last
request,
question.
just to
Yeah,
put in my point.
I would say Rochak, we will take Rochak's point as last, and then
Okay.
Nikhil from Tesla Group unofficial Tesla Group, can wind up the session.
Okay, thanks a lot. I mean, I just want to put up one thing that automobile sector, I'm talking about ICE, they are the biggest ancillary units in the world. And big brands like Toyota, Honda, or I mean, if we leave Nissan with one car, Leaf, most of these big companies they are investing only in ICE cars, not in.
So I would just interrupt you. I will just interrupt you in this. Honda is not a big OEM. Honda बहुत बड़ा मैन्युफैक्चरर नहीं है। ये हमारा बहुत बड़ा मिसकंसेप्शन है that Honda is a very big OEM. Toyota is a very big OEM. You are correct that way.
With due respect, actually I am from Delhi and I am into export of automobile parts all over the world.
Yeah, yeah,
And honestly speaking, if we don't talk about countries like China or maybe few countries in Europe, EVs are not
yeah, yeah.
popular, especially in Southeast Asian countries, in Japan, in Korea, in Australia. And I just want to ask you people one thing. Is it just a bubble that will burst in 3, 4, 5 years? Because EV, I think so, eventually people will again turn up to ICE and hybrid and all, because most of the companies like Toyota, Honda, I mean, they are, I mean, okay, let's not talk about Honda. Most of the companies like Toyota, or for that matter, even VW is not investing much in the EVs. The Japanese brands are not much investing in the EVs. They are more interested in hybrid.
I
Japanese, I don't know
I
what
will
they
just
have.
add.
They have been
Uh,
pushing for hybrids and for what we say fuel cell only, because early on Toyota did hybrids even in late 1990. So, but later then they didn't go into the much development of the full electric vehicle. So what they with the Tesla and the BYD and all, they got delayed. And what they are trying to now is delay as much as possible. It has been Toyota policy in literally every country they sell, right? Japanese, or we can say Japanese policy basically. Even Suzuki and Suzuki runs on whatever Toyota says. So they have, yeah. So we don't even in the EV market, Japanese are kind of irrelevant now right now for their opinions. Yes, they do have ICE market, but yeah, we are not moving back to the ICE again. And
so I
literally
would
we
just like
can't,
to.
because after a fixed time we have to move to something else.
Okay, and
So I would like to add
in
to Mr.
10
Rochak's point. He's absolutely right. You are absolutely right in that way. That what kind of so what has happened is everybody was thinking कि भाई 2030 तक 2035 तक सारा कुछ इलेक्ट्रिक हो जाएगा. This was a buzz thing, right, Mr. Rochak? So
yes,
everyone was thinking that कि सब बदल जाएगा, सारे EV लेके घूम रहे होंगे. So probably everybody has miscalculated that thing, which is I feel around that thing. Uh, and any kind of what do you say, EVs are not, it's not like कि मैं एक showroom में गया और मैं जाके गाड़ी ले आया. EV is like adapt, you're adopting to lot of things. You're adopting to your mindset. From 20 years you're driving an ICE car, and suddenly you have an electric car. You don't have to go to the fuel station. You have to just see the chargers and all those things. So it's a big adaptability. So probably because of that also, the adaptability is low, and now people are getting, now all the OEMs are getting the reality check that ये भाई हमारी प्रोजेक्शन जो एक्सेल शीट में हमने एसी में बनाई थी ये तो सही नहीं हो रही अब, है ना, हमने तो 50% तक एक्सपेक्ट किया था, ये तो 10 तक भी नहीं पहुंचा. सो इट एज आई ऑलवेज
वो
से दैट ईवीज आर,
ऑटोमेकर्स ने उतने एफर्ट्स भी तो नहीं किए ना, पहुंचेगा
एफर्ट भी नहीं
कैसे
किया,
50%?
पर ईवी का जो ट्रांजिशन है, इट इज अ
Of
थ्री
course,
वेज
it's
ट्रांजिशन.
not linear. COVID
हाँ,
happened or
क्योंकि इसमें
whatever.
ऐसा
It's
नहीं है ना
of
कि
course
मैंने
it's
गाड़ी ली, इसमें ऐसा नहीं है ना कि डीलरशिप ने मुझे गाड़ी बेची बस मैं सर्विस कराने के लिए आऊंगा, मैं डीलरशिप से ये भी
नहीं
पूछूंगा
नहीं,
भी चार्जर कहाँ पे है ना, और दो दोस्त,
of
एंड
course
यू
वो
हैव
तो
टू थिंक, यू हैव टू सी दैट
उसको
दिस
तो कोई
आई,
कह नहीं रहा।
मतलब, एंड दूसरा ये देखो ना, अब आइस इंडस्ट्री आज की नहीं है यार, 200 साल हो चुके हैं इसको, इंडस्ट्री को, 100 तो उसको,
वही तो।
मतलब 100 साल में तो वो मेच्योर चल रही है, ठीक है, और इसमें टाइम लगेगा. नाउ प्रोबेबली एवरीवन इज थिंकिंग दैट आइस इज हेयर टू स्टे, आइस नहीं जाने वाला कहीं पे भी, आइस विल हेयर टू स्टे, ईवीज वुड बी अ पार्ट ऑफ इट, ठीक है. अब जितना मुझे लगता है इंडिया में अब एटलीस्ट लोगों ने ये एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, इवन इन मेट्रोज जहां जहां वो चार्जर लगा सकते हैं, जिसके बाद 15 एम्पियर का पॉइंट लगता है या चार्जर लग जाता है, तो उसने सोच लिया है कि यार हाँ, मैं अगर नोएडा में 100 किलोमीटर घूमता हूँ तो मेरे लिए इलेक्ट्रिक कार ज्यादा वायबल है, बिकॉज मेरा इसमें मेरे को इसमें पैसे बचते हैं, ठीक है. तो आने वाले टाइम में या अभी जो टाइम है, पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड टू एक्सेप्ट इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स एटलीस्ट एज अ सेकेंडरी व्हीकल जो अडॉप्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. लाइक फॉर मी हु इज एनवायरमेंटल फ्री, की हाँ भी नहीं, एनवायरमेंट का भी ध्यान रखना है, ये भी ABCD फॉर मी, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू आइस. Anyway, coming to Mr. Rochek's point, you are absolutely right that Southeast Asia में कम है adoption, ठीक है. जापानीज नहीं फोकस कर रहे हैं, वो करेंगे भी नहीं अभी फोकस, वो वाला मतलब स्टूडेंट है जिसने कहा
वो
भी मैं तो एंड में ही पढ़ूंगा, और उनका काम चल
तो
रहा है. एंड
टोयोटा
बाय
टोयोटा
फॉर
तो BYD के पास गया है ना, BYD से टेक्नोलॉजी लेके बना, वो चाइना में कुछ बेच रहे
बनाएगा
हैं।
टोयोटा भी,
और ये
इवेंचुअली टोयोटा भी
और
बनाएगा, बट ये है कि जियो पॉलिटिक्स एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स हैव आल्सो हैम्पर्ड ईवी इंडस्ट्री.
इट विल डिले, टोयोटा विल डिले एज मच एज पॉसिबल, यू नो।
क्योंकि ईवी में सीधा डायरेक्ट नहीं, ईवी में आपको देखो किस किस से फाइट कर रहे हो आप, ईवी में आप एंटी ईवी सेंटिमेंट से फाइट कर रहे हो, फिर आप अडेप्टेबिलिटी से भी फाइट कर रहे हो, फिर आप मैन्युफैक्चरर्स को भी कह रहे हो
ऑयल
मेरे को गाड़ी दे, ठीक है, मतलब
ऑयल मार्केट की कंपनी से भी है।
सप्लाई चेन भी देखनी है, ठीक है, फिर
और
मतलब
एक
बहुत कुछ
लास्ट
है,
क्वेश्चन,
मतलब आई एग्री विद मिस्टर
एक लास्ट
रोचक्स पॉइंट.
क्वेश्चन,
Can I add one
और
point?
एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन, ये टाटा और महिंद्रा, आर दे रियली हैप्पी विद देयर ग्रोथ इन ईवी मार्केट? आई मीन, इज दिस व्हाट दे वर एक्सपेक्टिंग? आई मीन, इज इट अप टू देयर
So I will,
satisfactory level?
yeah, I will add to it. First of all, sir, टाटा टाटा मतलब टाटा तो चलो उन्होंने रोड मैप ही दे दिया ना. अब आज उनके अगर इंटरव्यूज देखो मिस्टर आनंद कुलकर्णी के, वो बिल्कुल ब्लंट हो रहे हैं, मतलब टाटा, कि हमने तो हाइब्रिड लाना ही नहीं है. दे आर प्रीटी मच क्लियर. सो इफ दे आर क्लियर, सो दैट मीन्स दे आर हैप्पी विद देयर पॉलिसी. सेकेंडली महिंद्रा जो आ
ओके.
गया, महिंद्रा यू आर राइट, महिंद्रा हैड टू लॉन्च XUV 400 टू कंप्लाई कैफे नॉर्म्स, एंड आने वाले टाइम में कैफे नॉर्म्स का और BS7 का सबसे ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट महिंद्रा को पड़ने वाला है, क्योंकि महिंद्रा के जो डीजल है
राइट।
महंगे हो जाएंगे, ठीक है, और उनको बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा टू कंप्लाई विद द नॉर्म्स. दैट इज व्हाई दे विल आल्सो कम इनटू ईवीज. कम दिस अपना दिसंबर, यू विल हैव दिस इलेक्ट्रिक XUV 800
तो महिंद्रा
फॉलोड बाय BE5, एंड ठीक है, उन्होंने 9 कितने करोड़ की इन्वेस्टमेंट ली हुई है, मेरे पास था डाटा. वो अब क्या पता महिंद्रा भी आगे जाके सब्सिडरी अलग मील करके उसको बोलते हैं ना, महिंद्रा इलेक्ट्रिक ऑटोमोटिव लिमिटेड. सो उसमें उन्होंने बहुत
सब्सिडी दो
इन्वेस्टमेंट
तीन
ली
है।
हुई है, काफी इन्वेस्टमेंट ली हुई है, तो उसको इन्वेस्टमेंट को तो उनको करना ही पड़ेगा जैसे मर्जी जस्टिफाई. मतलब अभी के लिए टिल 2030 थिंग्स आर सॉर्टेड फॉर टाटा एंड महिंद्रा, इवन फॉर दैट मैटर हुंडई एंड मारुति, की उनको पता है कि हमें ये गाड़ियां लानी है. 2030 के बाद क्या होता है इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल की इंडस्ट्री में, स्पेसिफिकली टू इंडिया, आई एक्सपेक्ट कि 30 तक हम 10% तक आराम से पहुंच जाएंगे. उसके बाद
ओके.
देखो क्या चलता है, पर 15 से
ओके.
20% तो इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स रहेंगे. आइस कहीं नहीं जाने वाला सर, मतलब ये तो मतलब हमको आइस अच्छा नहीं लगता, ठीक है, बट हमको कोई बैर भी नहीं है कि वी आर नॉट लाइक एंटी ईवी गाइस, ठीक है, हम एंटी आइस भी नहीं है, आइस रहेगा बिकॉज प्रैक्टिकल पर्पस के लिए हम नहीं कह सकते ना लोगों को, मतलब वी कांट सेल दिस थिंग टू एवरीवन, इट इज बिकॉज अडेप्टेबिलिटी एंड लॉट ऑफ फैक्टर्स आर इन्वॉल्व, सो वी हैव, मतलब रियलिस्टिक भी हम एज ए ईवी एंथुसियास्ट ये भी हम मानेंगे ही कि देयर आर लॉट ऑफ अडेप्टेबिलिटी फैक्टर्स।
बट
मैं आज
चाइना
अपने घर में नहीं कन्विंस कर सकता सबको,
बट
तो
चाइना हैड
बाहर मैं
डन
तो
इट.
क्या कन्विंस कर सकता हूँ।
Um,
China is a,
Right. Right.
मतलब वो
Right.
that is absolutely right. China is, it's like it's a communist country. They can probably do anything. वो कल को अगर ईवी बंद कर दे, पेट्रोल बेचने लग जाए, सब मान लेंगे. So that goes into politics of China also.
but the
वो
problem
तो
is,
फोर्स मार्केट है एक्चुअली.
आई फील जिसको
China
ईवी
का
का
सिनेरियो डिफरेंट है.
जिसको ईवी का एक बार क्या कहते हैं
Okay.
अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस मिलेगा, ही वुड नॉट गो बैक. दिस इज द थिंग.
एग्जैक्टली, यू आर एब्सोल्युटली, तभी मैं बोलता हूँ कि जितने भी ईवी ओनर्स हैं उनको अपने एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करने चाहिए. जैसा सर्वे आ गया जी 500 बंदों का, 500 बंदों ने भी सर्वे दिया, भी हमको ये अच्छा नहीं लगता, हमको तो वापस जाएंगे इसमें, भी वो
हमने अपने
500 बंदे
ग्रुप
कौन है,
में
हमें मिलाओ तो सही.
हमने अपने ग्रुप में वो सर्वे किया था. देयर वाज नॉट इवन 20% जो कहना चाह रहे हैं कि हम स्विच करेंगे.
एग्जैक्टली, बिल्कुल. और वो जो 10 से 15% वो बंदे हैं जिन्होंने प्रॉपर रिसर्च करी ही नहीं लेने
जिन्होंने
से पहले,
मेनली न्यू
जो,
यूजर्स हैं, मेनली न्यू यूजर्स हैं.
हाँ सही बात है, सही बात. सो एनीवन एल्स विद लास्ट क्वेश्चन?
Any curve related question? Any other thing? I think we are going to do a separate podcast because it's a two and a half
Yeah, so any
hours.
curve related question finally? I think probably everyone
आई
has
थिंक वी
asked
ऑल आर
about
गुड.
curve. Up to that is
Yeah,
requested,
I
I think.
think.
Yes, Mr. Kapil, you can speak.
आई वाज आस्किंग अबाउट अल्ट्रॉस ईवी, वो वहाँ पे डिस्प्ले में दिख रही थी बट उसके बाद कुछ न्यूज़ ही नहीं है उसके बाद.
So I will just take on that question. I will just take that question. So आपको मैं मतलब just briefing you with the Tata timelines, and Tata has maintained those timelines. So next comes the Harrier.ev by December. Then comes Sierra. इसमें बीच में सफारी इलेक्ट्रिक भी आएगा ही. Then सियारा से पहले या बाद में 2025 में मिडल में जब एल्ट्रॉस का आइस का फेसलिफ्ट आएगा, तब एल्ट्रॉस ईवी आएगा. दैट वुड बी अ हॉट हैच करके उन्होंने लॉन्च करनी है. इट हैज बीन कंफर्म फ्रॉम टाटाज एंड, सो इट विल बी कमिंग, राइट. So we can just wind up the session. Nikhil can just मतलब Nikhil बिल्कुल parting words from
Yeah.
Nikhil, because we have to see Neeraj javelin which will be coming up because gold medal आने वाला है, ठीक है. Nikhil, please wind up please.
Yeah. ओके. सो गाइस, बड़ा अच्छा लगा, काफी लंबा हो गया और अब लगता है और स्पेस करने चाहिए और स्पेसिफिक डिस्कशन टॉपिक लेके चल सकते हैं. आज ज्यादा ही वाइड चलेगी एंड के टाइम में. नेक्स्ट टाइम हम ईवी एफयूडी या ईवी मिथ्स के ऊपर या ईवी मार्केट के ऊपर, टू व्हीलर के ऊपर ऐसे आगे, और आपके जो सजेशन हो मैसेज कर सकते हो. मैसेज ओपन है सभी के लिए, ऐसे कोई दिक्कत नहीं. एंड थैंक यू फॉर ज्वाइनिंग एवरीवन.